Hi everyone, before this episode starts, I just have to let you know that during the recording of this episode, it got corrupted and cut off right at the end. So if you see an abrupt end to the episode, that is the reason. So we were not able to do a proper outro. So on that note, just before we start, just know if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe now. Comment below what you think of the podcast, what we should talk about next. And all social media handles for the boys will be down below. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and let's just get on with the episode.
Come through with it.
Okay, let's go. Everyone good? 5, 4, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GoLoco Podcast, where we go a little bit local in our discussions of the day. With me, I got 3 guests, one of whom who just left, it's all chilling. 2 of them are returning, but we got a new guest today. But before that, just a little housekeeping. If you're on YouTube, please like the video right now. Help us with that algorithm stuff or whatever. Computer engineer, I don't know the YouTube algorithms. Google hire me so I can make it better for myself, right? Everyone. Subscribe right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please follow, rate the podcast. 5-star rating on Apple. Let's go. Give me that all them shout outs. Maybe I'll read some ratings if anyone does it. Probably not, but we'll see. Also got Patreon. If you want to support me monetarily, patreon.com/GoLocoPod, where you can see all these episodes, unedited, full versions, all our bathroom breaks, because that's usually what it is. In full detail, except not in detail. You just see us leave, and then the one person who's left will just entertain people for like 3 minutes. Yeah, anyway. Let's introduce who was here today. We got 2 recurring guests from the 3rd ever episode. This would be episode 28, I believe. So 25 episodes ago, we had our longest podcast, still almost 3 hours. That was a nightmare to figure out where all the breaks and tangents were. But we got Rom, and of course, Rom back. What's up? And we got Josh chilling because he got to go to work and he's just playing on whatever, I think PS4, whatever, sure.
Let's not be doing that.
Josh is now the most guested person on the podcast, I believe now. I think you were tied up until last episode, which comes out soon, just letting y'all know. But I think Josh has now surpassed Justin for the lead. So Josh, putting in minimal effort, just make sure he regains that lead, you know. And
bro,
now,
at this point,
what?
Fucking I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
Some sort of fucking payment every time I drop by this motherfucking show. Like,
all right, and then we got the new guest here today. Wait, who wants to introduce him? Who got the best introduction for this?
It's Nav, bro. It's Nav.
It's Nav.
Bro, come on, man. Come on. I gotta take off the glasses now, dude. I gotta take off the glasses now.
All right. Yash, how about you introduce yourself to all the people who might not know who you are?
Yeah, I'm Yash. Jovin's boy since high school.
Hey, let's go.
I met you. What year of high school did I meet you though?
Probably
I've been
freshman or
trying to think
sophomore year.
about that.
It gotta be
Freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's definitely through Josh, probably.
Yeah.
I may probably put it closer to sophomore year if that's the case. Probably.
Okay, yeah. So how it went was I met Roman first in 8th grade. Then he introduced me to Josh in 8th grade, and then from Josh I probably met you. So
I think it was definitely. That was what it was. All right, guys. The only question I got for this podcast is when's Minsu joining?
Never. He's still
Dude, you gotta slide him the link right now. Josh, send it to him, man.
Actually, come through.
He's gonna demonetize my. I don't even have monetization. I'll still get demonetized if he joins. Just say something
For real.
random and then leave. Anyway, yeah. So we all met in high school and stuff. You know, it's all chilling. We all.
I swear to God, though, who could like technically be in a Korean drama, like not just because he's Korean, but like
hella dramatic. Breaking door handles and stuff, man.
Breaking door
Yeah,
handles.
the
What do you
man
mean?
really broke my door handle,
Wait,
dude.
what?
in my
Okay, I
car.
need to hear this. What happened?
So, all right, do you remember my car? I had like a 1997 Toyota Corolla. It was like golden in high school.
I think
And
so.
yeah, so I give Mintu rides like every day back home because it's just on the way to my house. And so the car was locked and he was trying to get out, right?
Mhm.
And so he just kept yanking the freaking door handle and he just broke it, dude. And then he just never paid me back for it. So I'm like, God damn.
Damn, Minsu, what do you do? What's that cost with inflation now? What I gotta be 100, 200 bucks right now?
Probably. So yeah, Mintu's watching this, bro. Cash at me, Venmo me at 200, man. Come on now.
All right, everyone put their Venmo in the description so we can get donations. No.
I'll give you my routing number, bro.
Let me pass the social security real quick. Let me give you my whole identity real quick. I got you, my dude. All right, 125. No. But yeah, I think we all met in high school. I think the only class we all took together was Principles of Engineering, which I think we mentioned in that previous episode. But obviously, Yash wasn't there, so Yash, give us your perspective on how that class went and the rise and fall of the best class we probably took in high school, at least in terms of just chilling.
Man, dude, I got an A the first semester, and then I almost got a D plus the second semester. I remember that. Like,
Oh,
it
shit.
just shifted completely. So, like,
And we all know why.
semester, yeah, dude, yeah, man. Like, hey, like,
ended when Free Stuff Friday ended. That's when things got rough.
that's when stuff went downhill, dude. Everything.
Nah.
Fuck Bhavani, bro. I hope that find in a ditch.
That was really actually the most fun I think I've had in high school back then, but probably for a class at least. Everything.
Yeah, easily the dopest class.
Yeah, definitely. How was your guys? I don't know if I asked this. How was your guys' bridges? Y'all do okay on those? I know mine was
No,
like
bro.
average.
My
I
partner-
think.
Bro, all he did was like stock everything into like one, and I'm like, you an asshole.
Just like, here you go. This is not how physics works, but I got you. I remember.
I actually
Griffin
don't even
racing
remember
shit
that,
all
to
the
be
time.
honest, man. It's been a minute.
It was the one with the popsicle sticks,
pretty
but
Oh, no, I
have
remember now, yeah.
a throwback video, like still on my hard drive.
oh no.
It's intense. Sean, like he went up to like 35 pounds or something.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Oh wait, bro, you just
No
unlocked the memory, man. I remember everyone was like, yeah. Because you know it's like the first few are like, oh, that's cool, and then it keeps going. There's always that threshold where you're like, you realize, oh shit, this is still holding. Because I think it was like he putting in 5 pound weights, right, or something. It was,
I don't remember, to be honest,
but it's just that I remember like we were like watching it, and at some point we all of a sudden we got randomly hyped because we realized like, oh shit, this shit's like holding. This actually holding. Oh, I don't think I definitely didn't get to that part. I remember the robot arm thing. I don't remember. Griffin for us just coded it, and then we were done. That was
He carried
shout out
it.
Griffin. He just randomly coded it one day, and we're like, oh, I didn't even know how to code yet. And then
Dude, you need to get that guy on the podcast. Like, he's been doing a lot, man.
but he'd be doing a lot. But he's got his own podcast stuff still,
Oh,
or his
damn,
own voice
cool.
acting stuff. At this, he'd be chilling, man.
That's lit, man. That's lit.
He'd be up in
But yeah,
like,
you're
AAA video
unlocking
games
a
now.
lot of memories.
Yeah.
Like, for the
What's like your
engineering stuff.
all right? Since we're all talking about what's one since I don't think while we all knew each other, I don't think we hung out as often. But in terms of high school, with at least Josh and Rom, what's like some of your biggest memories you remember? And then Josh, Rom, just commentate if you like have anything.
library, like every break, chilling in the square with all the homies.
Oh, the
Bro,
square, man. Damn, that was
Just sitting in the circle, you know. Yep. like that was the place where like me and Minsu got our first job because like Darius worked at Josh worked at
Best, bro.
dude.
Where you work at?
I don't understand who burns a chow mein. Like,
we worked at Panda Express.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah, I heard
it
about
was
that.
it was a good first experience.
I heard Minsu
bro.
burned all the noodles, according to Josh.
He showed up late one time. It was funny.
Bro, Minsu is a mood. I don't even know.
I remember Minsu coming in late, had the audacity to go like, "Hey, can I eat real quick?" I'm like, "What?"
Just like while he's serving food, just eat it and like serve it to the customer at the same time.
Like, hey, don't you get like free food there? Something like, yeah, you get free food when it's your lunchtime. It's like, well, I'm starving though. I'm like,
Wait, so you get free food every like lunch?
Hey, by the way,
Yeah,
not sponsored by Panda Express.
Yeah. Hey, sponsor GoLoco
Oh, I mean,
Podcast.
yeah, sponsor
Come on,
me.
man.
Yeah, sponsor me, please. Yeah, I eat your food all the time, man. Always going to Panda. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, snack, dinner, midnight snack, you know.
Eat, read, sleep, Panda Express, yo.
Yo,
Panda Express.
bro, Panda Express is love. Panda Express is life, man.
Bro, sometimes that shit hits.
You know, it does. You just like, I want to knock out. Fuck melatonin, eat some Panda.
I ain't even like it, bro. That's just like life.
It's just more. It's more than food. It's a lifestyle, you know. Meanwhile, Rom is eating the Wingstop that we finally got here. We have to drive like 40 minutes just to get. Let's go.
Do it. It's a celebration, you
What's
know?
your favorite
like,
Wingstop? Hey, okay, here we go. What's your favorite Wingstop flavors? Let's go. Rom, I know you're trying out all the flavors. So like, what's your favorite so far?
right now, it probably has to be lemon pepper.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
I think
just
mine is probably garlic parmesan or barbecue, just because like I know it's like hella messy, but it's like damn, it's fucking. I don't give a fuck. They had a Korean flavor bound or a sweet teriyaki flavor, but I think they discontinued it or something because I don't see it
No,
on
I
the
think
menu
they
anymore.
the spicy Korean
that's
cube.
coming back, bro. It's like a seasonal thing.
Okay. All right, Josh, what's your favorite if you got one?
Atomic Wings.
Which one?
Atomic Wings.
Oh, Tommy goes
You're
straight for it. He
wildin',
goes
dude.
wave, bro. I tried one of those during a lunch break at Banana when I worked at Banana back in the day. My God, I was like, there's no. I'm not gonna drink water, no milk, but I gotta fold these clothes. Going,
You shit yourself.
because I was like, I wasn't ready for it. I was like, it can't be that spicy. It's a American chain. It can't be spicy. I regretted it. I was
You're
like,
proud.
spicy, yeah, like McDonald's spicy, right? That's what I'm gonna get when I. And I was like, I ate the whole thing. I was like, just
Wait,
cough.
like Josh, like how do you even enjoy it, bro? Like, aren't you just dying the whole time when you're eating
No,
it?
well, what I do is like I eat it with In-N-Out. So like I'll be grabbing like a Atomic Wings and then like an In-N-Out burger.
Oh
so-
damn! In-N-Out's the chaser for the wings.
No, and, I'll be getting my animal fries and shit,
Ooh.
and I have, like the barbecue sauce on top of that. So like it kind of
Ooh.
kills the atomic like spicy level, but at the same time it doesn't. So you know, still good.
Or how about you?
You're
What's your
wildin', man.
favorite flavor?
I would say hickory smoked barbecue. Have you ever had that one?
Yeah, that's the one. That's one of my favorites. Either that or garlic parmesan for me.
Fire, dude. But hey, I have a question though.
All right, what?
All right, so me and Roman recently went to what's it called? What's the wing place that we just went to, bro?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yes, the very intricate mom and pop shop full of Wild Wings.
Honestly, Buffalo Wild Wings is better than Wingstop, dude.
Ooh.
And like everybody hates me for it. But
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
it's the wrong
like,
opinion, man.
Bro, the wings are just so much crispier. Like I don't know, man.
Yes.
Oh,
if they get, like,
I feel like it depends on whether you get sauced or like dry
that's
seasons.
true. What do you think,
If
Rome?
they get
I mean, I like Wingstop better, but if I was given B-dubs, I would take it. So
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay. How about Josh? What about you? You're arguing for Buffalo Wild
I
Wings
like-
back there.
I like them both.
They're like,
You
sponsor
gotta
me
pick one,
equally.
dude.
He's like, nah, sponsor me equally, boys.
I'm not trying
I
to get
need Coke and
sponsorship.
Pepsi, man. I mix that shit.
Yes. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Up down.
I'm not that big of a Coke guy or a cola guy, so when like I don't really get the Coke versus Pepsi thing, but that's mostly because I don't drink much of either. But I can tell the difference. I can tell like I do like Coke better than Pepsi, but I don't think I drink it enough to like give like yeah Coke. That's why Coke's better than Pepsi. I can't give that opinion, but I know people who be like go in the restaurants and can I get a Coke? It's like, oh, we got Pepsi, and I'm like, they're like.
Yeah, like it's honestly the same thing. Like it is the same.
It's owned by
Agree with it. Just because I feel like Pepsi is more sweet than Coke.
yeah.
But not in the good way, I probably for a lot of people.
It's definitely a subtle difference, that's for sure.
I haven't really had it.
Would you say Team Walmart or Team Target?
Target,
bro.
Target just like when you walk in, it's just happier vibes.
I don't
know
feel
how to
safe at Walmart
describe
half
it.
the time.
Yeah, low key same, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
The
No.
floors are
But
just
we
a
need
little-
a sponsor. We need
Oh
the
no!
sponsor.
I mean, better days. I smile for Walmart all the time. I'm in there 24/7 buying $5 t-shirts. You know how it is.
There we go.
Target, bro. I can't.
Yeah, it's like, but in all honesty, like Target always just feels like slightly cleaner, slightly safer. I feel like I can.
Like less grimy people walking about.
I feel like when I go Target, I can see like the way through the store. At Walmart, it just kind of feels like everything got clumped into like they got way too much stuff in like one area where you're like, where am I? It's just like, and Target always got like that. You know where you're going. You can when you walk inside, there's always like
Bro.
it's almost the same format. I think Walmart probably the same, but it just feels like Target's more organized though. I don't know about benefits, so don't come at me, workers. I can't tell you what's better to work at, so don't come at me on that end.
Hey, but Walmart got the deals though, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
They got the deals. And Target don't be selling like some stuff anymore. They're just like slowly dropping things. Walmart be like, nah, we'll still have like your random shitty objects that no one buys or whatever, but we got it with Walmart.
All the random like items in the aisle, like they're just hanging like right where the chips are. It's like, yeah, I'll take some ping pong balls. Yeah.
It's never organized, man. It's always just like clumped. It's not like dirty. It's not like you went to like the mall on Black Friday and all the clothes are on the floor. No, it's more like it's just like, why is everything just so like clumped? They need a new interior designer. That's what they need.
Bro, Walmart the type of place to put condoms on sale.
But still behind the glass door.
For real.
We put it on sale, but people start stealing them. Oh, we gotta put it behind the wall, but we give the sale. What? I don't want to call people like, hey, can I grab one real quick? So I don't need I don't wait like 5 minutes for them to unlock it. Now they know I'm like, oh, are you gonna have fun today? Like, nah, I want to be safe, my dude. But yeah, sure, why not?
And speaking of Walmart and like Target and stuff, like the other day I went to Target. I was looking for a straight edge, like to line up my beard. You know those like straight edge things to get it really precise. Like, yeah, I would go there. I couldn't find it. I went to Walmart. I couldn't find it. Then I'm just like, I went to another Walmart. I couldn't find it. And apparently you could only buy them at like Amazon and stuff. I don't know why.
Amazon really be stealing the retail business now.
Dude, they're taking over.
They're getting but they're not getting any much of like the good stuff. They're just getting all the cheap options and putting that for like slightly cheaper than everywhere else. But like if you get clothes from Amazon, I feel like it's hit or miss because a lot of it's third party sellers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like, also I understand that. Okay, I understand that you're like, oh, we got small, medium, large. Why every store got different small, medium, and large? And they even got a different pant size. Like a 32-32 is not the same as a different place's 32-32. Like, what?
Bro.
What? Why? It's math. How can you mess up math?
Seriously, it should be like a standard thing for every like size. for every
Like how, like,
kind of brand.
if you go like stores in Japan, bro, I'll probably like a 2XL over there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fit my normal medium to large. So I'm just gonna be like, shit. What the
Yeah, bro.
I know in like the Philippines, like the size medium there would be like equivalent to an extra small here.
Yeah, because I'm like above. I'm like tall over there. I'm not even kidding.
The Uniqlo shit that I have, I gotta go like large.
I'll say at least with Uniqlo, they fit really well once you get those clothes though. Like some
but
other places
Yeah.
be like, why when I get the smaller size too tight, but then like when I get the one size up, all of a sudden the sleeves are past like my like almost halfway to my wrist. How do we how can we, like, I don't need to be like get a size large and spend our $10 at a tailor just to cut off these sleeves. Like, no. I mean, I can cut off
Yeah,
the sleeves by
dude.
myself, but I'm probably gonna make it look like diagonal. So I don't trust myself with that.
That's why I wish I was like super rich so I could just get like all my clothes tailored exactly to like my body, you know? That'd
Bro,
be sick.
I remember going to homecoming and prom and getting those things. I'm like, bro, they didn't tailor that to shit, man. Everything was loose or long. And I'm like, bro, you get my measurements, and here I am wearing a baggy thing this prom. What the hell? What the fuck?
Dude, you should have got a refund, man. They got
Because
you
I'm like,
messed up.
because like everything, I was like, back then I was even much more like way more skinnier. So I was like definitely close to a slim fit on all of these sizes. So I mean, technically anyone could wear a slim fit. You just got to find the right whatever. But it's more like, yo, this thing says slim fit, and yet it's going going like past my shoe, and I'm almost stepping on it, man. Like, what the fuck? Slid my ass.
Hey, question. What do you guys think about the Travis Scott situation?
Oh,
You guys hear about that?
Oh, we're going serious. Oh, everything. Oh, he sat up. He's like, I'm ready. Josh,
What you say?
the Travis Scott concert, the everything that went wrong.
Everybody's like trying to boycott the dude. I'm like, you know what? I'm still wearing my Travis Scott one, so eat a dick.
Josh just looked at the camera and said, "Cancel me, guys."
This man does not care about sponsors, man.
No, but like for real, like that shit was like.
I don't believe in all that like cancel like culture nonsense right there. Too many people are fucking sensitive nowadays. Like they can eat a dick and get hit by a shovel hard. Like
okay, shit. Damn, we went.
I'm sick and tired of people like, oh my fucking god, bro.
Should just went from 0 to 100 real quick.
No, but yeah, I keep seeing all that stuff though. I'm like, damn, like there was so many like all that shit was like disturbing. Seeing people get CPR, I'm like, damn, how many of those people like was it at least 8 dead right now, right? And I'm like, I've never heard of like it's just like the biggest disaster of modern concert history, probably, correct? Because like there's some times where you see that type of stuff or you hear about it and people like but it's like for it to be like so public, I think it's just because immediately right before like there's like a stampede to get in, right? Instead of like, you know, other concerts where you like to walk in, people are already like running through. And I'm seeing people with like 8-year-olds at this shit. And I'm like, first of all, does an 8-year-old really know who Travis Scott is? I'll be honest. He probably look at the TV, be like, who's that guy? And they're like, we're going to his concert. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like, dude, that's how they know Travis Scott is Fortnite.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
That is also a good point.
That is a good point. But still, it's like, I think they said one of the dead might have been a kid. And I'm like, who's bringing their 8-year-old? Like, I don't even know, man. Like, I know there's like the controversial thing where someone might have been like stabbing people with like drugs and shit. But I'm like, one, how does that get in? I mean, I know how it gets to people sneak it in however they want. But it's like, everything that could go wrong went wrong in that concert, I think.
Seriously, like I always thought like Travis concerts are wild, and I always was like, I don't know if I want to go to one because it just seems way too intense and like all the mosh pits, and it's probably hard to breathe there. There's so many people. And now I realize that I was right. Like I wasn't being irrational, dude. Like
how much do you think it is because we had the pandemic and this is probably the first big concert for a lot of these people? Because it's already wild. As you said, the concert's already wild. How much of it you think was it that because like people have been cooped in for almost 2 years now, over a year and a half. This is probably like their first. We don't even know. Like for all we know, there could be a COVID mini outbreak from those people in a few weeks. We don't even know yet. That's just like it could get worse. Outside of like all the stuff people keep being. I mean, I'm not saying you can't go to concerts. I would want to go to a concert if I knew like most people were vaccinated or most people didn't have the thing. But still, it's just like everything went wrong, man. Like eight people dead. Like, man, that's like, I don't want to say unheard of, at least, but I think it's definitely modern history. I can't say like for those big rock concerts back in the 80s, 50s, 60s. I can't say for those, but like that's got to be like at least modern, at least definitely recorded concert. There might have been other concerts that happened recently, but this was like so well documented with like everyone like posting videos about like people saying like, "Hey, stop the concert!" Like, I just saw a video today where they were chanting "Stop the concert, stop the show." I was like, damn, that's how bad it got. Like people, but I mean, obviously they're like getting drowned out by the rest of the crowd cheering. But it was like, for at least you be able to hear it a little bit, it's like that's pretty crazy. I don't even know who to blame. I don't really want to. Not saying like, I don't want to say it's Travis's fault or the venue's fault, or it could be all their faults. But it's just like it's too raw right now to be like figuring out what to do. Rom, you haven't really talked about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's screwed. I honestly I send my condolences to everyone who's passed, all the families who are going through deep grief right now. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that, like, I wouldn't say Travis Scott was to blame either, but you know, like, just the whole crew, the whole event was just like a big clusterfuck of just like madness going on. It's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it seems like Travis Scott's concerts get really wild like all the time. So I wouldn't really blame him for that aspect about how, like, you know, his concerts are getting wild. Maybe he wanted to get more wild like at that festival, which is why like he didn't really do much about it. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a good thing for sure.
Yeah. All right, we gotta lighten this up, man. Oh shit, I was like, whew, Yash came with the serious topic here. Like, there's a good, we are here to make a discussion.
Yeah, I had to bring that one up because that was the most recent thing. I just wanted to get your opinion. But yeah. Okay, what else you got for us?
Well, maybe it's a little less serious, but still kind of serious. Like, Josh, I know we've both been looking for jobs. How are you doing on that front? You doing okay? Same? Any update? I'm still applying.
Yeah, man. Dude, I've been making it to like some final rounds for a lot of companies. Then I'll just like their final round will be like a lot of coding stuff, and it'll be super hard. And I'll be like, damn, this is intense. Like,
yeah, I'm getting like really scared to go to any big tier company, but I don't know if I'm like, I know if I go to like start applying to all those small startups, I probably get in just quickly because they don't really care much about coding, as to just get employees at that point. But I'm like, I feel like it's also that could be hella stressful because startups, they're like, I probably get overworked and stuff, and I might even passionate with this stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, let me go through an 11-round Google interview process. I don't think I'm not ready for that. Like I don't have enough leak code in my brain ready for all those data structures and stuff.
Leak code is just so annoying, honestly. Like, I try to do some every day, but man, it gets like tiring.
All right. Since Rom and Josh, since they're probably not going to be able to weigh in on this much, but since Yash and I are trying to get into the same industry, what do you feel about the FANG style interview with having to learn all these algorithms and random data structures that, not random because obviously some companies do use them, but like, how do you feel where it's like you basically feel like it's another midterm where you can't really use anything, even though we all know half of those questions will never use on the actual job, and even if they are, you can Google it. Like, how do you feel? Because I feel like that's kind of like, I know for like the higher tier companies, they're like, oh, we want to get the best of the best, but like once you get started into those mid and small companies and they start doing it, I feel like that's a red flag sometimes, because like how much is the person who I'm interviewing with actually like know about this thing? Like, I mean, obviously they know it, but like, they already have the answer. They already have like the best solution that they know of. How am I supposed to know like this random sliding door problem? You know what I'm talking about.
I have no experience in the industry whatsoever. Like, I've never had a coding interview in my life. But from that question, I would say that I think the interviewer wants to get like they ask like really top-notch questions to the point like just to make sure that the person applying to the job like can do things that are like simpler than that. But they're also like in the same tier in a way. But I don't know. It's just me.
That's probably good perspective. What about you, Yash? Since you've been to the final rounds, you've been getting closer and closer. You're definitely getting closer to me. I've only had I think I've only went to the final round once, but I got a lot of initial interviews so far or assessments. How do you feel on your
end? Good, man. Honestly, like my take on it is, computer science and like software engineering is such a saturated field. Like, there's so many people applying to these jobs that like these companies are just like, okay, I'm just gonna ask LeetCode because we need to make it hard now because we're getting so many applicants. Like, we need to weed out a lot of people. But like, it's dumb because like you were saying, it has nothing to do with actual job skills, but they just need a way to like filter people out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Josh is like, yeah,
man. You know,
bro, what game are you playing?
Yeah, what are you playing? Yeah, Josh. Hello.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
Far Cry 6.
Oh, hey, how was it? I've heard.
Pretty dope, dude.
I've heard like pretty good things, especially who's the main villain again? What's the actor's name again?
The guy who played the guy in Breaking Bad. I really don't know his name. I only know him from.
I've seen all the clips. Like he's already getting memed, but in a good way, where it's like, damn, this guy's kind of like intimidating and stuff. I probably need to get help on that. I think Far Cry villains are always pretty solid at minimum. They're always pretty solid to like really great.
They're very psychotic, in my opinion. You're
right. Yash, how about you? How about what games you like playing? What's your, if you have to sit down and you're just like, shit, I'm just I got all the time. I don't want to do LeetCode. I don't want to like, I'm bored of YouTube and whatever TikTok or whatever. What game you popping on? Where, no matter what the platform.
You know what? Like, I've been into the sport games like NBA 2K and stuff like that, but like, I've been craving something with a good story mode. Like, I've been wanting the new Spider-Man game. I've been saying that. I just haven't bought it yet. But like, I don't know. Do you know any good games with like story modes? Good story modes?
The Spider-Man, God of War. The new God of War is pretty good.
The God of War, yeah. I want that on my list too.
Yeah. You should play Detroit Become Human on the PS4.
He knows what he's talking about right here. This guy right here.
I'm gonna search that up right now.
That's the only game I PS4.
It's like a choose your own adventure story type of game, but it's like hella fun because there's so many branches and stuff. Like, it's probably what games are similar. There was a few back before then. I think it's like, I know one of them had Ellen Page. I think it's Elliot Page. I think back in the day. Which one?
Beyond Souls.
Yeah, that Beyond Two Souls or something. That was one. And there was another one before that. I think that's the same director. There was another one before that. Well, it's hella dope. You see it yet or not yet?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks sick. Yeah, I never heard of this though.
You haven't heard of it? I played a little bit of it, but I didn't have it at the time. I was playing at my friend's house, and I'll watch the walkthroughs on YouTube. It's just, Connor's my G, man. Connor,
fucking beast.
Connor, I think Connor has the best. Well, he's the one who left the most imprint on me, just because I feel like he has, with the old detective guy, he has the most like heart for a story. Especially because I think it ends with him, right? I think the story usually ends with him, if I'm not mistaken, right?
You talking about Assassin's Creed?
No, we're not talking about AC. Connor from Detroit.
Oh, yeah, he's...
Who's your favorite of the three protagonists?
It's a dope-ass game, honestly.
I like the old detective dude. He's a pretty cool guy.
Oh, yeah, Connor,
like,
what are you doing?
Like, the whole game, you're trying to like make amends of just like having an android partner, and just like throughout the game, like the relationship just like bonds together well. I like that.
Or if you're a dick, you ruin it.
That's true.
But Right? I'm not wrong, right? Or if you're a dick, you ruin it. But yeah, shit. You guys watch anything recently or do any new stuff? I haven't really done. Actually, oh wait, have you guys watched Young Justice? No.
Yes.
You on the new season yet or no?
Yes.
Okay, no spoilers. What do you think so far? First 5 episodes. What?
Don't even play with me like that. You know damn well I'll be on that like anytime, bro. I watch that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I don't have an appointment, I'll be watching that on my desk. Like,
Is it anime?
No. It's a DC show about like. It's about like. Oh well, at this point it's the whole DC universe, but there's like the first season was like this main team. It's Robin, Kid Flash,
Aqualad,
Superboy, Miss Martian, and who's the last person? Artemis.
Yeah.
It's like they're like these teenage. The first season is like they're like a teenage team. They're not the Teen Titans because like in the like yeah. In the comics, there's 2 teams. There's Teen Titans and there's Young Justice. They never refer to themselves as Young Justice, but that's the name of the show. So that's like they like work with the Justice League. They're basically they're the sidekick. Well, they don't want to be sidekick, but they're sidekick squad. And basically the fourth season now. It's just them going on this journey, doing stuff, fighting evil, big plot lines, small plot lines. It's actually really good. Like minor spoilers. In the second season, they're grown up, and basically at season 4, they were basically in their not well into their adult lives, but they're like probably like late 20s, early 30s, all of them at this point. So we've seen them like literally grow up.
So is it like an animated show or is it like real?
Show, yeah, it was on Cartoon Network back in the day. They got 2 seasons for before, and then it got canned because of toy sales, because Cartoon Network was always canceling shows because of the toy sales back then. But then there was so much fan want for a season 3 that I think 2 or 3 years ago they HBO Max came out for HBO for Warner Brothers, and they got the new season on there for season 3, and now we're on season 4. It's like it was like a 10-year long hiatus before they got the new season, but like they're able to like convince Warner Brothers to like, yeah, there's enough want for this show. You're not gonna make any toy sales, but that's not why you make the show. And I was like, damn, it's really more.
I just searched it up, and like I remember the show actually.
Yeah, it's more teenage, young adult oriented, unlike Teen Titans or even Teen Titans Go, which are obviously much more kid friendly or kid.
Yeah.
Even though the original Teen Titans are a little more dark than Go, both of those obviously aim more towards kids. I think Young Justice, they thought that was going to be the same type of thing, but like it was obviously much more darker, much more real. Like people die in this show. Like I'm spoiling, people die, man. People die when they're killed, man. But yeah, Josh, what do you think? First 5 episodes of the new season. What do you think so far? What?
Pretty dope.
Pretty dope. Episode 4, fuck me.
Fuck you, dude.
I cry, man. I cry every 10. Though I think there's a reason we don't have to cry in like 10 episodes, but we're not there yet, so I can't talk about it. But yeah, if y'all haven't watched that, it's a really good show. It's on HBO Max right now. Not sponsored, but do sponsor me, HBO. That's cool. Give me that Zack Snyder money.
The fuck?
Oh, wait, did you guys see the Batman trailer? That came out in between us. Yes, Josh, I definitely know seen it probably, but Yash, Rom, have you seen the new Batman trailer with Rob? Bro, it looks hella dope. I'm not be honest. Yeah, it looks hella dope. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, with Rob Pattinson.
I've seen like pictures on Twitter of like Rob Pattinson like
in this
with his mask. Yeah.
Oh, his mask.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's really
cool.
It feels like it's like a really big detective type movie, because it's like, well, that's what they're saying. They want him to be a detective in this movie, and it's like really, but like the latest trailer was fucking dope. You guys haven't seen it, you go to watch it, but like few parts of it where like there's one scene where like Batman's literally walking down the hall, and these guys are shooting at him, but he's like obviously bulletproof. So it literally just like looks like he's walking through bullets, and he just kicks the guy's asses at the end. But it's in a dark hallway, so the muzzle flash is like lighting up the hallway. It's just, can you imagine? You're like a criminal. You're like, you probably got paid. Like you're with the mob. You're like, I'm getting paid pretty well to like just move these boxes of illegal drugs and weapons. And then you're in a hallway and it gets dark. And then you start hearing people freaking going like, ah, shit. And you're just all of a sudden you see at the end of the hall like a freaking this bat figure. You start shooting at him, right? In the dark, and you're hitting him, but he's still walking at you. Like, I'll be fucking like,
yeah, I'd shit myself, man. It's bad.
Like, bro, I just want to feed my kids, man.
For real, dude.
No, for real. Batman be giving like, I don't kill, but concussion that might make you like be in the hospital for 6 months. Yeah,
I got you on that.
Like the only reason I feel like these like criminals keep joining up with all these gangs and villains, like all these mobsters and Joker, they got like good medical insurance or something. Because like that's the only reason they like, I feel like they would even come back. Or there's this endless mob of just like people wanting to work for like literal serial killers.
Maybe they're just like brainwashed into it or something.
I mean, definitely a few of them, but I'm like, bro, against the fucking bat.
Yeah, true. Hey, but no lie, man. Like Batman is easily the best superhero show for me, or a superhero movie for me at least.
Batman movies?
Out of like Avengers, out of like Spider-Man.
Okay. Which one?
Superhero.
Which one?
Oh, no.
Arkham City.
The Dark Knight, dude. Like,
Dark Knight?
you can't go wrong with that one.
You can. It's that, but I feel like it's definitely more. I think the Dark Knight helps in terms of like, you don't have to be in the comic books to like that trilogy though. Like you just need to know like the guy's he's a rich guy who dresses like a bat. That's what you need to know. and now let me Christian Nolan it up
like
real
that,
quick.
it sounds so random.
I mean, that's all the Batman movies, but in terms of Christopher Nolan's vision, that's like a rich guy who dresses up in a bat. And now let me tell a Christopher Nolan story with it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, yeah, all his movies are always like hella like. I mean, I feel like Batman is actually the movie with him with a guy dressed as a bat is the most like down to earth of all of Christopher in terms of like just like what the fuck is going on. I don't have to think about like what the fuck just happened on screen.
That actually is true.
Like the fucking Batman. The fucking like craziest shit is actually the most simple of all the movies he's done. Okay, comment. He did Inception, right? If I remember, is that Christopher Nolan? That is right.
Yes.
And then he did Interstellar too, right? And then
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, how the fuck he come up with all this? Like, I feel like he just goes like, I have an idea. What's your idea? Yes. Now give me $100 million to shoot it.
Yeah, him and Leonardo DiCaprio always in some like crazy movie.
Bro, I'm surprised he never got Leo in the Dark Knight trilogy.
That would be sick. That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick. If he was like a main character.
Bro, I remember, like, I know it was right out. I remember because it was right after we all graduated. I was in the dorm in college when Leo won his first Oscar. I remember like we legit like. All the people on my floor and a few other floors literally gathered in the lobby to watch that's the only time I ever watched the Oscars, waiting to see if something would happen. And when Leo got his Oscar, everyone fucking like cheered, like, yeah!
But what movie did he do like that year that like people were crazy about?
It was the shit. He fought a bear. That's what I remember.
The Jack.
I know that one.
Island shit.
Wait, I know it. Fuck.
It was like 360-degree like directing, right?
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna look it up. I know it's literally because I remember he literally fought a bear. That's why I remember the movie that well.
I don't think I saw that movie.
Okay.
Bro, I've seen that movie in my life.
Fights a bear.
Fights.
Bro, first Oscar movie. There we go. Let me just do that. It is Google. Don't fail me now. Come on, Google. It is.
Rom, how many wings are you in right now?
It's The Revenant.
I finished all of them.
Oh, nice. The Revenant, though. Okay.
Yeah, it's The Revenant.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It was definitely a good concept for directing, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of movie directors, like, I feel like sometimes they go too hard on their art sometimes, or I'm just like, cool that this won an Oscar, but like, I could really care less for this entire movie. I always feel like the movies I get like in are like, especially now with like the big superhero movie, but I'm not saying every superhero movie wins an Oscar or something or whatever, but I'm like, at this point, I'm like, bro, we're really like getting the most pretentious movies in here that no one's ever watched. Like, I didn't see any trailers for this, but like, yeah, this movie's great. And outside of like, out of 100 people I can ask, probably I'd be lucky if one person knew what the movie was. Like,
I think I'm gonna watch The Revenant today.
All right.
After this,
sponsor us, Leo.
Sponsor. Trying to get all the sponsors.
Try to get all the sponsors. Shout out all sponsors.
Basketball Diaries, got a sponsor, bro.
Gotta get a sponsor. Hey, Yash, you watch any anime or anything or no?
Dude, my friends have been. Rom's been getting me into it. One of my friends. But so yeah, like you've been telling me about like Demon Slayer a little bit. I remember. I watched like 3 episodes so far. Sick.
I still gotta finish those. Like I still gotta watch the Demon Slayer movie. Still gotta finish
Yo, Crunchyroll, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find it.
Crunchyroll sponsor us, please.
Yeah, the CGI, dude, and Demon Slayer is like dope as fuck.
I feel like,
for sure.
Like especially in Japan, CGI is getting really much better. It's still like obvious, but I remember like back in like high school when I was watching anime, and I had a bunch of friends. I remember people always complain like, "God damn, they're trying to use CGI on these robots that looks like complete ass. Looks like a PS1 graphics." But now we're at the point where I think the new Dragon Ball movie might be fully CGI, if not mostly. But I'm gonna be really like, we've only had like a teaser trailer where it's not really shown much, but like as a Dragon Ball fan, I really like. I've played all the video games for Dragon Ball throughout the years, like all. If anyone knows the Budokai Tenkaichi, yeah. Yes. Fighters, like, bro, Fighters is like legit. Like, I know some people ragged on it because like they were expecting like a Naruto Storm game, and then they got an RPG, but like the cutscenes in that game are like legit fire. Like some of the most well animated stuff I've seen out of a video game.
I haven't played that one. The last one that I played that was the newest was
He's like,
what's the name of it?
Now.
Shit, dude, what's the name of it? Start naming some of them out. Yeah, Xenoverse. Yeah.
That thing was like, that was still going on up until like, I think they had a DLC that released last year. I'm like, what the fuck, for 2?
But what are your thoughts on Xenoverse? Like, I didn't really like it too much. I think
it's just like the gameplay is like very basic. I think it was more about, if you play Xenoverse, you just want all the characters you've ever wanted to play with in a game.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Well, Fighters came out and it was very much more like a Street Fighter type game, but I feel like a lot of people have been wanting that because we haven't had that since the original Budokai games. Like just dude,
Budokai reminds me of like Tekken type of game, you know? It's like
the first Budokai, like did you get the first Budokai when you have to hold Raditz and you have to like spin your PS2 sticks around, or no?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
that was the hardest shit like I've ever had in a video game, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gonna break my controller trying to win this level at 5 years old, man.
You just unlocked another memory, dude. Like, holy cow!
Wait, you guys like? Josh is slowly turning into the couch, man. He might not even like get off once he has to get off to work. He might knock out right there. It's legit, dude.
Josh, what time you gotta wake up tomorrow, bro?
Bro, I gotta work at 9:30.
That's not that bad. How far is your work though?
Like 5 miles, but I gotta prepare some.
Okay. You prepare some stuff?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Where do you work now again?
State Credit Union.
Okay. That makes sense. You just be watching Young Justice when there's no one coming in.
This account's no joke, bro. What the fuck you mean?
You're just like, all right, guys, anyone here? HBO Max on. Let's go. Bro, how do you guys feel about all these streaming services that keep coming out? Like, I know it's Netflix was the big one, and Blockbuster's streaming service died before it could begin. But then, like, I feel like Netflix dominated for so long. But now that I feel like a bunch of other places are getting streaming services, Netflix is kind of like, I think technically it's still at the top, but like I feel like it's like falling pretty fast.
Dude, Netflix is low-key garbage now, but you know, Cobra Kai is there.
Cobra Kai, I think it's just that their original series can be really good. Like, I think Netflix is at the point where they can make original series and keep their base, like Cobra Kai, Stranger Things. The new trailer just dropped, I think, yesterday, so obviously a lot of people are gonna watch that. But like, I think for like the casual streaming person, I feel like Netflix has gone downhill because like outside of when those shows drop, like, you know, Friends is gone, The Office is gone. That was like a lot of people's comfort watch, like put on the background while you're washing dishes or doing laundry. But now that stuff's like slowly going to their wherever their studio is like, because I know Disney Plus is like soaring right now. And Disney was like, we're acquiring content, and everyone's like, we got Star Wars, Marvel, we got the normal Disney stuff, we got Pixar. We're just gonna be pumping content forever. And based on the numbers, yeah, they're actually doing like, they got like a new Marvel show or a Star Wars show, or whenever their next movie. Like now that the theater's opening up, I think Shang-Chi is on Disney Plus this month, so it's like they're gonna get more people.
Really?
Like
they got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
HBO Max is probably like, in terms of like how things run, I think HBO Max, for at least for me, has been the one that has caused me the least amount of glitches. Because like, you know, some of these streaming platforms, you press it and it'd be loading for like 5 minutes, and then it crashes, and you're like, what the fuck? I definitely know my Wi-Fi ain't gone. Like, what the hell? I remember when WandaVision for Marvel first came out, and Disney Plus crashed the first few episodes. Because like it was the first Marvel content they had in like almost 2 years. Like, that was a few months ago, and I was like, damn, people really be waiting for that midnight premiere. That's the only thing I don't like about Disney Plus. They always release everything at midnight. I'm like, why? Why can't I just like...
The servers were just overloaded with people, probably.
So, see, Disney, because you didn't hire me, man. That's what... I could have helped with those servers,
come
you
on,
know?
Disney.
Like, what could you have done? Get more? Optimize? I don't know. I don't know what the data encoding you're all using. I mean, obviously, yeah, I feel like that was like a big moment. But like, yeah, stream platforms I think are getting too much now. There's like Paramount Plus. And the only thing I know about that's on it is the new iCarly, which I heard was is okay. That's it. But that's all I know. It's on there. You got Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peacock with, I think The Office is the only thing they advertise ever. Like, we have The Office.
The Office is goated though.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, that's all they're like advertising. Like, we got The Office. And that's it. I feel like everything's like, we're getting to the point where streaming, I don't think it'll ever get to the point where it was like, oh yeah, we have 700 services, like we had 700 channels. I mean, obviously those like Uverse and stuff is still obviously being used, but I'm like, damn, we really went from like 700 channels to like on a TV to now we're like up to like 10, 15 streaming services if you want to watch all your shows, and it's like slightly cheaper, I guess, but like now it feels like the fuck.
I kind of miss having cable, dude. Just like when you're bored, just flip through channels and stuff.
We still have Uverse
like...
at home because like Josh and Rom might know. My grandma and my mom still watch the Filipino channel, so they need cable.
KFC?
KFC, man. With that fake
they don't have streaming stuff for that?
No, bro. A third world country with streaming service.
Bro, I swear, like they should have something. Like, but you can't find anything online.
They probably have a website, but it's probably slow as shit.
Bro, let's make some shit, dude.
TFC, hire.
That'd be good.
Bro, that's $1 million idea.
No, but like,
right
Yash,
there.
if you've never seen a Filipino teleserie, my fucking god, I don't know how these motherfuckers pump out so many episodes daily episodes, not weekly, not monthly, daily, freaking Saturday through Sunday a new episode. I'm like, what the fuck? For like
That's
the same...
so lit though if you're a fan.
Hey,
Like
here's a basic generic structure of a Filipino TV show. Okay, poor girl or guy, rich guy or girl fall in love.
Oh, wow.
The rich family is obviously super corrupt and obviously can buy the military whenever they want, and they're like kill people and put them over here. The poor people are going to have a social justice movement where they're either going to do it peacefully, have guerrilla warfare, or both. And then in the middle of all of that, everyone who's in the relationships with each other cheat on each other.
Yo, what kind of fucking hell are you watching, bro?
Bro, I'm just looking at what's going on when I'm watching downstairs. And I'm like, what is going on? And they do that for like 5 years straight, and they got like thousands of episodes. I've looked up an episode count of like, oh, the new show, and we're like 600 episodes in already. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's insane.
They literally like film like, I think like groups of like 20 or 30 episodes within, because it's so cheap to make. It's like the cheapest shit. Like they get the first take, and then they'll also like do like random zoom in and cuts, like zoom. Well, they'll just be standing there, and then they'll cut the commercial. Or it's like,
is the content actually good though?
No.
Or like, would you say?
Half the time, no. It's like the cheapest bare bones. Like, hey, let's show off our the new half white, half Filipino actor of the month.
It's so garbage.
It is really bad. I don't know how much
Have
you've watched,
y'all
Rom, but it's
watched
pretty bad.
You season 3? Have y'all watched that?
Of what?
You season 3?
No, I haven't watched it yet. That's You, right? The serial killer love one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I'm like thinking of the right one. I'm like, have you seen the video where it's like him doing like, what would you look like without the narration, and just the guy staring hella creepily? Like, I'm like,
I haven't seen that, but that's hella funny.
Because it's like literally like 10 seconds of like silence of just like the two characters staring at each other, just like, okay, you guys know he's a serial killer. There's no fucking way y'all don't think he's creepy.
For real, like
we're be like looking at you like
doing that.
I think it's the biggest red flag that a bunch of girls like him, and I'm like, whatever, it's not me. It's not my problem. I don't have to deal with that.
Dude, the season 3 is insane. Like that's the one word that would describe it. Have you watched it, Roman?
No, I haven't. I honestly thought it was cringe. Just like whenever I go to see YouTube, like I type in YouTube, and then like the suggestion of you comes up, and like the main guy just looks really cringe to me.
It is a cringe show.
I think it's on purpose though, right? Because he's like literally a creepy dude killing people. So I mean, like if they made him seem like not cringe, it'd be like they're supporting a serial killer. So like those narrations, I'm like, what are you doing? Walking here. Oh, you really want it? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like who does that?
Yeah, who does that? I'm just kidding. No, but like, see, like that's what Netflix always draws in with those shows. They'll have like 5 to 6 shows a year that everyone's going to watch, but I think like that's all they get now. They don't got like
their shows are good though. You're right.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't think
they should honestly just make more like of those.
People killing each other or like fucking each other.
Damn, you just described Game of Thrones.
Fuck House of Dragons. Don't even.
I mean, I'm not wrong with that. Oh, speaking of Game of Thrones, have any of you guys seen Eternals yet? Because I know Kit Harington's in that. I watched it. I'll say this with the critic reviews, it's not as bad as what you'd think when you see a rotten. People are like, oh, it's the first rotten Marvel movie, and I went in, watched it, and I'm like, this isn't bad, like at all. Like I'll say, like the story's kind of like, but like the characters are pretty nice. The visuals are like fucking like amazing. It's just that I feel like, and people are like, oh, it's definitely different from the normal Marvel or formula, and I'm like, I watched it, I was like, it doesn't feel like there's no Thor, no Iron Man making witty jokes, but it's like still feels like a bunch of superheroes trying to save the world. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I know some people like minor spoilers. They have the first ever Marvel sex scene, even though Iron Man had a sex scene, at least. But sex, and they're like, I know there's like one gay couple, and I watched the movie, and it was like, y'all made it seem like this is gonna be like a major plot point, and like all the like homophobes are gonna like get mad, and it's like literally like not even 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought this shit was gonna be like, I thought I was gonna see like 30 minutes of like this shit, and I could see like, oh man, these people are gonna give. If you don't even like notice it, you might not even know they're a couple. You could just think like they're brothers and they got a kid or something. There's like a kid, like that's like outside of like the one time. Like if you just like turn around the right second when they like hug each other, you're like, you wouldn't even know. I'll be honest. But like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'd say you could probably watch it. It's like, in terms, it does stand alone, and there's some like connective elements to other movies. Like you kind of got to know what happened in Endgame because like they reference the end of Endgame, but like that's it.
I haven't watched any of them, so I gotta get on that.
Yeah, you haven't watched any?
I haven't watched a single one.
All right, Josh, you wanna? What are you saying?
I don't even need to watch the movie no more. Then I appreciate it.
He's just like, I know it's. I heard it's good. All right, there we go.
What's his name? Isn't that Indian guy in Eternals?
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, I think he's Pakistani.
He got hella ripped though for that movie. No, I mean, I'll be honest.
Pretty sure he's roided, dude.
No, I mean, they're all those Hollywood actors probably. You think Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, they're all roided.
Like they're like, I'm not saying he's roided, but I'm like, god damn, the veins on this motherfucker. When he's just posting pictures of him working out, I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
I need to get what that guy's on, dude.
Yeah.
I need to get what Thor's on. The guy who plays Thor.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. That's what. Yeah, or Hugh Jackman. Like, my god, even if you compare like if you're an X-Men fan, you've watched Hugh Jackman, you've seen Wolverine. Like, what he looks like in his first movie, and then what he looks like in like, I don't think it's Logan because he was wearing a lot of clothes in Logan, but like in Days of Future Past, when he's like, I'm like, motherfucker, this guy went from like pretty, got muscle, he's pretty big, just a normal muscle guys to like, by the time he gets to the Wolverine, it's like, bro, have you drank water? I don't see a layer of fat on this man's body.
It's insane, dude.
And like, he's even admitted, like, he literally, like, to the point where like he might almost pass out after scenes because he's like, if you don't know Wolverine, he gets mad a lot, and that requires energy. And when you have no fat on your body, you don't really got much energy.
Yo, I'm up in the dip.
All right. Josh, anything? All right, before you go, anything to shout out or say before you go?
No, bro.
He's all like, I got three podcast episodes already on this thing. Y'all already know if you already know.
Say something real right now before you leave, like a bar or some advice
or something. Yeah, we got one thing. What we got?
What?
Just say one more thing before you go. Anything? A bar, advice, a poem. I don't know. Quote.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100 right now,
man. Don't spit. That's for them bitches.
Oh yeah.
My man left out with the bang, dude.
All right. See you, Josh. We'll see you next time.
Have a good bro.
Night, guys.
Night. Gang. All right. Now the real partners. Like now, I actually record now. No, but I didn't. I was gonna ask this, but now that Josh is gone, but like Josh, I think you were part when Josh went on to rap when Josh went rapping at the rally, right? You were with him, right?
Yeah,
how was that experience? Because I know we kind of talked about it last time we hung out, but like, how did tell the audience how did that? We've heard Josh. I think we've heard Josh or Rom's point of view, but like, how did you feel when you were Josh was like, "Hey, I'm about to rap in front of literally 4,000 people. How did you want to come? Want to walk with me?"
I was hella excited, dude. I just remember I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be your hype man." And I was just like, they gave me a mic. They cut my mic though, so I mean,
you weren't even gonna say anything. You might be like, "Yeah, woo!"
Yeah, do the ad-libs and stuff. But like, I'll just throw in shirts and like, I think we had like the glowy sticks or something. I'll just throw in those.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right. Because I remember it was like I was kind of like the rally, and Josh was like, "Hey, yo, they might let me on for once after 3-4 years, man. They finally might let me on." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's hella dope." And then I was like, I kind of forgot about it, and all of a sudden, like partway through, I just see Josh standing there, and I'm like, "What's he?" And I like clicked what I remember. I'm like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Damn, he actually got on." They actually, because like I know he'd been wanting to do that for like. Well, his whole time there, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
it was dope. It happened before we left. That's lit.
Were you? Did you join the club, the alumni back in the day, or are you in the picture? Or we're all like sitting in that one computer?
No, I wasn't a part of it. No,
Okay.
But like I knew about it though.
Are you talking about the with Mr. Stewart, right? In Mr. Stewart's class, like it was like all the POE homies. Like, was that also alumni or?
That, but I think it was like I remember. I have the picture with me. It's me, Josh sitting in the middle. I'm there. I think Bronte, Jade are there. Jonathan Wu is there. Julian, is that his name? Yeah, and they were all just like Josh is sitting on like a computer. It's definitely a computer lab because I remember it was in a computer lab, and he just pulled up a chair, and then we just all took a picture like doing this. Let me see if I can find it.
I legit remember that picture. I do remember.
I definitely
that
have it. I think it might have been one of my Facebook covers. My God, and we're talking about Facebook covers. Really, we're that old. Remember when we like people actually like updated their Facebook like somewhat regularly? That was like the first few years.
It's dead now.
It's dead now. It's like it's more like now just like this one here. Oh, and then whatever his name. Oh shit. What am I? Not Jonathan Wu. It's Zahir and whatever Chris or something. I don't know. This picture.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was in the yearbook.
I think it is in the yearbook. Yeah, I think it might have been for the. Yeah, I think there's another picture. I don't think I have it though on my phone, but like I know there's another picture at a computer lab where we did almost the same pose, but like with. I think Josh might have that one probably.
Dude, you know that picture really shows how like a diverse high school we went to.
Yeah, like Doherty
honestly.
is like especially compared to the rest of the district, which I know like I think Cal was not as diverse but had some diversity, but like SRV and shit, why should I even saying these names? Whatever. SRV and Monte Vista were like, very majority here.
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine if you went to school there. Like a lot of stuff would be different, you know?
Yeah, I've graduated from. We've both graduated from San Jose State, but like, I was in a fraternity over there. Shout out Alpha Phi Omega. Let's go, service frat. Let's go, volunteering and shit. But like, I went like I've stopped by a few meetings since I've graduated, or even before I graduated when I was like just inactive or whatever. And like, I remember talking to this one guy. It was all like. He was like, "Yeah, I'm from like San Ramon." I'm like, "Damn, you're from San Ramon?" He's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What high school?" And he's all like, Cal, right?" I'm from Cal, right? Because he was not thrown off. He was just like, I don't know why he thought about it. He's like a freshman, so I don't know why he fucking thought about what high school. It was like a few months ago.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh shit, what do you think of the high school I'm from?" He's like, "You're Asian?" It's like, I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, Doherty, right? He's like, just. He's like,
dude, yeah.
He's like, saw an Asian dude. It's like, it must be Doherty, right?
Exactly.
Just straight up facts, you know. But yeah, our school was pretty diverse. I mean, definitely Asian leaning, I would say. So maybe not like the most like equally distributed, but I feel like at least among like the high schools in our area, we're definitely the more like not of like one like looking, because even among like you say like Asian, but like there's so many like countries in Asia, right, that are like obviously we had like a decent amount of Filipinos, a lot of Indians, Chinese, just like a bunch of like subsects, but like I feel like we never really like, I don't want to say we didn't like go towards, because I mean like there were definitely times where I felt like I was looking through, it was like, man, we really segregating ourselves even though we're Asian.
Yeah, that's actually really true. No, that's actually true.
Like okay, for anyone, I've said this before on the podcast, but there's literally, especially in freshman and sophomore year of high school, legit, right outside the 4,000 building, we legit nicknamed it Chinatown. Because even though most of us were not, I mean, a good amount was probably Chinese, but like, even though like not everyone there was Chinese, we're all like, we're just all a bunch of, especially I think that year was like probably one of the bigger years of like probably Asian population. But I was like, damn. But then I'm like, I remember looking back at that now, and I'm like, we had the whole Chinatown thing, but like I remember looking over there, and Yash, not to say anything, but like all the like I just see a bunch of Indian kids far away.
Hey, that's Browntown right there. Browntown.
That was like, I just remember seeing that. I was like, oh, okay. I was like,
Dude,
looking back, I'm like, we did kind of
such a good
segregate ourselves
point,
a little
dude.
bit.
We did.
It was like on a subconscious
that.
level. I kind of like, I think about like, we weren't really thinking about that. It was more that we just grew up with people we knew.
Mhm.
It's like because obviously even like, especially like Rom, you know, like I know none of our parents knew each other, but like let's say like if your mom knew my mom, we'd probably be hanging out like every freaking day.
Definitely, like every weekend for sure. Like that's a fact. We would
Yeah,
back
that's
where
what
I
I
used
miss right now, because like especially with the pandemic, like even like after we left high school, I feel like I was still seeing a bunch of my family friends and cousins every Christmas, and a few birthdays. But now it's like I'm legit thinking, like, am I gonna see people on Christmas? Like, do I even know like who I'm gonna see like the next like? I think maybe this year it might return a little bit more normalcy, just because I feel like, I'll be honest, I know people still be talking about the vaccines and like there's still some upticks in places, but especially here in California, especially the Bay Area, I'm like, outside of the mask wearing, I don't feel it at all. Like I don't feel like the pressure of like just COVID in general, even though I know it's still out there and everyone's vaccinated, and then now people are getting booster shots. I mean, depending on when this is, when you listen to this, if it's years from now, we might have all gotten our boosters by now. Who knows, or whatever, if we are or are not. Because I know they're starting to roll that out for like frontline workers and stuff. It's only a matter of time before they're like, everyone who got this one can get it, the boosters. Because I know my mom got hers and stuff, so it's like, because she's immunocompromised, what she has, so it's like we're at the point where I'm like, especially, I can't even imagine like how the rest of like even just the country is, because I know a lot of the country's still having high rates of like infections, and I'm like, I don't know like anyone really since like the beginning. I mean, I've known a few people got it like towards the beginning, but like recently I don't really like know anyone who even got like a scare. Not even got it, just got a scare. Because like COVID tests are so readily available now. Like you can be like, I feel sick, I could just take it right now, and you immediately like, okay, I got, like, if I'm positive, like, okay, I hung out with these people the last few days to let them know. But like, I remember the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was like, it was just stigmatized just to even go outside, even though like, I remember during the pandemic, everyone was like walking around and stuff. Like people were like legit, like everyone was like, it's straight out of the 80s. Everyone's like outside. It's weird. But like, I remember
the
like,
last time you've seen someone get COVID or heard of someone get COVID?
Outside of like a random politician or celebrity, no, probably been like months. I mean, I know some, like I watch the NBA, so I know some NBA players recently have been like getting tested for it. But like, in terms of like people I know, I don't think I've heard of anyone since like maybe like early this year, maybe late last year.
Same here. No, it's like, it's weird, man. It's weird. It just doesn't feel like it's a thing anymore, but it definitely is. So
like, it's
I don't
definitely
know.
like statistically, I'm like, I know, like, okay, if we all take off our masks right now and just act like normal, the spread will like spike up like it's done before. But it's
100%.
like, we're getting to the point where I feel like, no, I know for a fact that I feel like masks gonna be a fashion statement. That's the big trend, I feel like. And then maybe not like right now, but like 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if people are like, that's the new accessory to wear. Because I mean, like, people will already be wearing scarves and stuff, which already cover the face sometimes.
I mean, like, yeah, I went to like Camp Flogna in like 2018, and like that was pre-COVID, and I saw Tyler the Creator wearing his own golf mask, and like I thought that was pretty sick. So I think he's been like with the shits since like before it was required to wear a mask everywhere.
Yeah,
people in Asia like used to wear masks pre-COVID, and that was like
and
kind of a thing
obviously
there.
they're
Right?
still now. Like they're like every winter it's like it's flu season, just time to wear it. Not saying that like got the that's not well. I haven't looked into the data, and I was like, okay. 2016, what was the flu data compared in Japan and Korea compared to the U.S. and Europe? Like I'm not looking into that, but I'm like, I can kind of see where they're on top of that early on. I know later on with the higher variants, like the masks obviously start to seem like okay, we need more than just masks at this point. But like I remember early on, especially like for right now where we are in the pandemic, because technically it's still a pandemic, but like the early pandemic, I remember people were like, "Oh, look at all the Asian countries; they have like almost no transmission. They're like all wearing masks and they're all doing good." And then like it was like it wasn't that it was it was not racist. It was not because it's not hateful, but it's more like, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I'm not saying it's not. It's just that we'll just see what happens. And then obviously at some point they spiked. I mean, not as bad as over. I think the U.S. still had probably one of the worst spikes. I remember when Italy was like the epicenter of everything. That's how long. That's how like. Do you remember that? That felt so long ago, but it was only like early last year. When,
Yeah,
like, I remember,
literally like exactly a year ago, I think, or like
it was
last
March. March is
December, I
when like
think.
spring break. Remember we thought we were just gonna
shit.
get like 2 weeks off. I remember I was at San Jose State, and then the professor's like, we all got the email at the same time. We're like, hey, tomorrow you can start spring break early. You guys can just go home. And everyone was like, wait, what? How are we gonna? We got homework. I'm not
It
ready
was
to go home
during
yet.
midterms, bro. It was during midterms. I remember.
Yeah, so it was like hella like weird, or right before midterms, I think. So it was like,
Yeah, right before.
so I mean,
Yeah.
I think that first time it wasn't that bad, but then when it was like 2 weeks went by, because that spring break right after, so it was like, oh, we're just having a long vacation. But then we started hearing stuff like, oh, NBA shut down. Oh, the gym's shut down. The restaurants are shut down. It's like
That's
slowly
when stuff got real.
because like everyone thought it was just gonna be like, oh, whatever. But it was like, I feel like if it was like the swine flu, like from a few years back, it definitely would have felt like that because I feel like it had it. I know it had technically 2 spikes, but I remember the big spike was like, at least around here, was when a bunch of people from Doherty went to homecoming. And I remember when we were in middle school or whatever, but I remember hearing like, oh yeah, there was like a spike in terms of people getting sick, but it was like, I don't even remember if I got the swine flu or if I just got like, I don't even remember like anything.
I didn't. I remember.
And
I
we were
was
going
really
to school like
scared of
normal.
it.
Like it wasn't like there was like nothing happened. But like if it was like that, but like COVID was like it literally built different.
Yeah.
It was like the weirdest time. Yeah,
COVID really taught me,
whipped
like,
coffee and the Dalgona coffee craze. When they're like people were like whipping up coffee and shit, like making it look like a.
Oh, I did that.
I did that. I have freaking instant coffee now because of it. I haven't used it really since then, but like I remember having it and I was like, damn, this a solid okay. It's really good.
Like it's that one thing where you just keep like kind of stirring it, right, or something.
Or if you have a whip, you can just like or electronic, but whatever. You're just like you're basically making coffee whipped cream. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I remember that. That was such weird. A COVID trend.
And I think one of the biggest benefactors for this, I think, was TikTok. It's like I think they just got a random influx. Because I remember it was like I think I got TikTok the year before COVID, just because I was like, what's this TikTok? I'm just gonna watch stuff. It was like pretty cool. I think back then it was like a bunch of like, I don't think there was many dances, but there were just like a bunch of like cosplay. There's a few dance people. I go, who's this Charlie D'Amelio shit? I don't know what the fuck this is. Whatever. I'm just gonna skip past it because I don't really give a fuck about teenagers doing a random dance because my sister's doing that over there. But I remember getting like ridiculed, like, you're on TikTok? Isn't that the Musical.ly app? You're lip syncing app?
Now everybody's using it.
Yeah, everyone's like, it's basically the new like form of entertainment.
Yeah, and like
it's just different enough that YouTube doesn't
it.
care because YouTube copied it, 1, and 2, YouTube has its own like thing, but it's like I think it filled that void that Vine kind of had for a few years because I feel like people were looking for that. But like no, but looking back, there's like on TikTok now, I'm like randomly getting like Vine throwback videos where they'll put like 3 Vines in a video, and I'm like, my God, I don't know if TikTok humor or Vine humor is more broken, but both of these humors are just like, what the fuck. It's two completely different type of platforms in terms of the creators on it. Because I remember
there's that app called Byte. It's like I think it's made by the same devs as Vine, but I don't know where they are right now.
Yeah,
I think TikTok.
I don't think they try to go against TikTok, but I think they just kind of they weren't up. TikTok got too big too fast. Like really like it obviously surpassed Vine now in popularity even, but like what Vine just ended just because Twitter was like fuck it, no, right? That was it, right? They was like nah, they're like nah, we're done. That was literally all I remember. I remember like people Twitter just like canned it, and everyone's like, "Why? The fuck?" Like
it took so long for like something else to replace it, though. If you think about it,
yeah, but I think that's because I think there was this transition period because all the Viners went to YouTube and became the new generation of YouTubers, like the Paul brothers, right? All those guys, Cody Co, and those are all YouTube. They're all big YouTubers now. I mean, the Paul brothers are boxers now, but you know, whatever. I'm just like, really, like, what the fuck? And I remember, like, we went from I remember seeing them like, I'll look at like Vine things now and not realizing like Jake Paul was in the background. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, I didn't even know they were in this. Now they're like, hey, look, Jake Paul knocked the fuck out of Nate Robinson.
I was so devastated when that happened, man.
Oh,
like, Nate Robinson was
man.
my childhood hero, dude. That man was my hero.
I know. I was like, man, he made me believe I could be in the NBA, even though he had like a 50-inch vertical and I have a 10.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Made you feel like you could play, even though he was technically slightly still taller than you, way buffer than you, and could jump way higher than you. But if he could make that hope, he was our generation's Muggsy Bogues, man. Like, bro, I can't even imagine. Like, I know Rom, I don't know who you know Muggsy Bogues. He was a 5'3" guy who played in the NBA, and he played for a long time too. He played for like 10 years, 12 years, and I'm like,
he's an animal.
Damn, though. 3? That's crazy.
Because he was legit. He's a decent passer, I remember, and I know all the compliments. He just like. He's so small, he just steals the ball because he just goes under people. And, like, not under, but, like, you know, right there, his hand would be right where the ball is when the guy's dribbling it. But I'm like, 5'3", like, bro, like, my sister, like, my girlfriend is taller than Muggsy Bogues.
Imagine how fast he was, though, compared
he was
to everybody
fast.
else.
Like, there's, like, obviously, he doesn't look like, if you don't know who, like, Russell Westbrook is, Rom, but, like, he's not, like, that fast, like, end-to-end, like, super athlete, but it's, like, just quick enough where a 5'3" guy could shoot a jump shot over a 6'5" dude without getting blocked. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I know that. I think Curry said like Muggsy Bogues made me believe I could make it to the NBA. Could you imagine? Like every year he goes 10x.
Gave all of us hope, dude.
And none of us were. Well, too bad. None of us are like that fast and that good. I don't even think there's anyone that small who's played since Robinson, because even like Nate Robinson was like 5'9" or 5'10" or something. So I was like,
5'9", I think. Yeah,
he's not like that much. He's still like pretty tall for like even the average person. So I was like, or it's around average. But yeah, damn, bro, have you been back to? I'm gonna be honest. Have you been back to Doherty? They took down like all the basketball courts, and I'm like, damn, all these kids missing out. I was like, I remember like start taking all the way like half. They keep extending the buildings and shit. I'm like, why the fuck?
Too many students.
Do you really want them to not exercise at all? School? Like I already know most of them are not gonna go, but like to like the few people who went, y'all kicking them out.
Yeah, how does a high school not have outdoor basketball courts, man?
At least open up. At least open up the Ox gym. At least open that up. Like, do that shit. Like, I can't imagine like I'm looking through like preschool. You get like 2 nap times and some free time. Basically, just learn basic shit. And then elementary school, you get like 1 or 2 recesses plus a lunch. And then middle school, you get a recess and a lunch. or break, I guess was back in our middle, like a break. You got 15 minutes to like chill out or whatever. And then high school was like, you got lunch. Have fun.
And no, we had brunch too, remember?
Oh, we had brunch. Sorry, we had brunch, even though
that was like 15 minutes.
I'm like, I'm not going to run to line to grab some breakfast and then try to get back in 15 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know if they still have that, but like, I know, like, I don't even know, but like, apparently, like, you, like, if you were got ahead in your units, like, because my two sisters have done it, like, my sisters come home from school like early. Like doesn't school end at 3? It's like, yeah, but I'm already done with my units for this year. So like before I graduate, so I'm like, so you come home at 1:30? What the fuck? I can't.
I wish I could do that.
I don't even know if they had that option because like we all had like 0 or A period back in the day, but like I didn't take advantage of that. But if I knew that like in my junior and senior year I could go home early, I would have fucking done that. If I could do only 2 years of just waking up at 6, especially back in high school when like we still had somewhat decent, at least wake up sleep schedules. Maybe not sleeping, but like waking up. Well, I don't know what happens in college, man. Like I remember, like we were all like waking up at like 6:30, 7:30, 7. A lot of people back in high school, like we got to school on time still, and we had to drive or get dropped off back then. And then college hits. You're literally on the campus. Your class is at 9, and I can't wake up at 8:50. I'm like, the fuck. In like 6 months, what happened? Because like it's the same thing as like I feel like maybe it coincides with the freshman 15, man. like your metabolism slows, and you're just like and you're just like can't wake up anymore because you're out like not drinking, just not drinking.
Totally not drinking at all, man.
But wait. But Yash, what college you go to before San Jose State?
So, yeah, for my undergrad, I went to CSU East Bay. So I was pretty much at home like most of college. I dormed there just like 1 year, just to kind of like make friends and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a small commuter school like San Jose State. So
yeah, I think
same vibe.
It's like the biggest CSUs in our area outside of SF State, which I don't even know. I've never even been there, so I have no idea. But yeah, San Jose State and East Bay are pretty much. Wait, do you remember when East Bay was called CSU Hayward?
Yeah, dude, my dad went to East Bay like back in the day, and it was called CSU Hayward.
Why did they change it to East Bay? Just because it's the only one in that area, or?
I feel like I don't know, like
because I mean,
Hayward,
like it is literally in the
East
smack dab middle of Hayward.
Hayward.
Like, there's no question it's in Hayward. Like, it's not close enough to like Castro Valley or Fremont. Like, it's not really that.
I would say it is kind of close
Fremont,
to Castro Valley.
Yeah, but it's like there's still a freeway in between though. You still have to go around 580, and then Fremont is like still like a good 20 minutes down, like the main the street. Like so, it's like I don't know. I just feel like it's literally like right across from downtown Hayward. It's like literally like I don't know. I don't know why they changed it, but like anyway.
In orientation, they're like, yeah, we're in the heart of the East Bay. Like I don't know. They wanted to really show off that they're in
heart
that
of East
area.
Bay. Like I remember Hayward always says they're the heart of the Bay, but like I don't feel like you, especially nowadays, that you really can say like there's any central part of the Bay because like. Or main hub, because I feel like every part of the Bay is like so different now, even compared to where it was like. I mean, maybe like Hayward and Oakland, it kind of blends in pretty seamlessly if you're not paying attention to like like now in San Leandro, San Lorenzo, Oakland, like you're not really paying attention to that, like you wouldn't notice. But there's a bunch of suburbs over there. It's mostly suburbs until you hit downtown Oakland, right? For that area, but. San Jose, you can't compare San Jose to the East Bay, to Santa Rosa, to SF, to even within the East Bay. Technically, we are in the East Bay, but no one from Oakland or Hayward is gonna say, "Yeah, Dublin, San Ramon, East Bay represent."
Yeah, dude, they're all super different in their own way. It's crazy, man.
I mean, it's literally whenever there's a big stretch of freeway, they're like that's where the culture I feel changes. Because like from like Castro Valley to like here when you hit Dublin, that whole like stretch of mountains, I feel like that's where the culture is split, right? On the East Bay side at least, or in terms of topography East Bay, because neither side is gonna, like, Dublin and Santa Ramon don't really consider themselves East Bay, but they don't really consider themselves inland because there's that whole mountain range between Livermore and Tracy. Because Tracy's really the real inland start, right? The real Central Valley.
Yeah.
But Livermore, like, people are like, oh, Livermore's not part of the Bay, but like technically it is if you count like where it is. But
it's like the Bay, to be honest.
Right. And then like when you like from here Dublin, and then now we're just explaining the freaking culture of the Bay. Now we can go into could be a whole 2 hours of itself. I feel like from like the transition from Dublin to Danville is obviously San Ramon where we are, but it's kind of weird because we're in a new development, so we don't even know what the culture in this part of San Ramon is. Because San Ramon is, feel like I can kind of feel when I hit old and new San Ramon, just not in terms of just the building, the architecture, but just like how it feels like when I sit down, it's like you can kind of tell like that's definitely a Doherty or maybe a Cal student, and then like you look, that's definitely an SRV student over there. Like, but then I feel like that, but I don't know how long ago, because like I know my house was like, what is it, 2021? So that's almost 15 years that my house was built. I think for some other people in Windermere, they were here a little bit longer because like I came in right when like most of the schools were being built. Like I think Windermere just opened up. Doherty literally opened up right before I moved here, so like that's how early I got here. But what's it? I'm trying to remember where I'm going with this. Yeah, it feels like interesting. Like Josh. So like when you were in East Bay, right? And then when you went to San Jose State, could you feel the change of culture when you came to San Jose State, like when you went for your master's?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like, dude, even like San Ramon and Livermore, there's
Completely
like a
different.
big difference.
I think
Even
because San Ramon's mostly new
close.
money, or quote unquote new money, and then Livermore is definitely that old money type of like we've had money here. Even if our families haven't lived here long, we're kind of like we're stable here. We have a culture of like old school downtown Livermore or downtown Pleasanton. Like you go to those downtowns, you're like, oh, or even like Danville, because Danville kind of has that same type of culture. Or like, oh, this is definitely like we've been here, we've been rooted here. We know our stuff. We got all the mom and pop shops. We got the like people walking around, like, and then you go like to where I feel like maybe it's like. So there's one side, there's downtown Pleasanton, but then there's like the other side of Pleasanton up to San Ramon, and Dublin's in between. That's like the new. I mean, even though we're like the city's like old, but like it's like the new where people have now they moved later on, right? I think probably most of the people in this area from San Ramon here, Dublin, and the Pleasanton part that's closer to Dublin, I feel like that's all like the Silicon Valley workers who came up looking for some better housing outside of San Jose. Because if you don't know, San Jose housing not exactly ideal in terms of pricing. So like this is like the first stop in terms of where they went after Fremont like filled up.
Did you live in San Jose, dude?
For my first year, yeah, and it was like not complete culture shock, but like it was definitely a pretty small culture shock. Because like
did
San
you
Jose,
dorm there, or
yeah, I dormed for my first year, and then
okay,
and then I kind of was basically there for kind of because I met my girlfriend my freshman year. We've been together, so I'm like at her house a lot. So like I've been in San Jose. Like it's weird because San Jose is ghetto Doherty.
like you mean San Jose State,
or like that area, like that culture, like slightly ghetto or Doherty.
Yeah, I feel that.
I would the car culture over there is like I don't see anyone in. Well, now I do. I can hear people going throughout San Ramon. It's confusing the shit out of me. Like people are like riding around now, but like you know what I mean? Like San Jose is a big Asian population, so I kind of felt like that wasn't the culture shock of seeing like Asian or people from Asian Americans, but it was more like I didn't understand what Kevin Nguyen was until I went to San Jose. I didn't know the stereotype existed until I got there.
It's just like honestly, downtown San Jose is pretty rough, but like San Jose in general, I feel like is a decent area.
That's a pretty decent area, like South San Jose, West Side. is pretty good. West Side, West San Jose, which is like Santana Row, is the richer area. Like that
Super
whole like
nice.
once you kind of feel the shift though, but like that San Jose State area, maybe it's not like, I know there's a big homeless population, but I never felt like threatened usually by.
I
Like,
actually have. I'm not gonna lie,
you have,
bro.
but I feel like
I have, man.
SF feels worse. Like when I'm in SF, I feel
Yeah.
scared. San Jose, I feel like there's enough like light here where I feel like there's enough foot traffic. Like, oh, SF has foot traffic, but like not in the places where I need to go home. Oh shit! Now there's no foot traffic, and like in San Jose, I feel like there's foot traffic almost everywhere, or at least like people walking around. So yeah, I never feel like, I mean, scared. Like, well, maybe I felt like scared at some. I get scared more by the people like, hey, do you want to hear about our God the Mother? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you got that speech at San Jose State or East Bay? The God the Mother
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
That's
There'd
more
always be,
scary
like, those
because they
people
won't leave you
preaching.
alone, man. They see you and they lock on target, man. Like the
And
homeless
speaking
people,
of,
you
like,
can like kind of walk
the
around,
homeless
or they'll just
people,
be.
dude. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like the homeless people, I would see them like a lot, like you were saying. Like I remember this one time at San Jose after my class, I went to the bathroom, and I just seen this homeless guy. He was like shaving and like bathing himself in the sink and like just the soap and stuff. And I was like, dude, holy shit! Like I've never seen this at East Bay.
But I feel like it's not
It's
like the home. I feel like, well, at least from my experience, for the most part, if like especially during the day or early night, you're like, I never felt threatened. But I feel like most of them were just kind of like down, not down on their luck in terms of like they weren't like, some of them probably were, or addicted to stuff like drugs, was like the saddest part. Like I can't really fault them for being that, but I never felt like, unless it was like super late at night. But at that point, I'm like, I'm usually with people because I know better to not be somewhere by myself late at night.
yeah.
But like I feel like, because I remember at San Jose State, especially when I'm on campus, like especially when I was dorming, I would like go on like, I went like a daily night walk at like 10 o'clock, and I never felt like scared to like walk around there, even when I saw homeless people. But I can tell if I went like a little bit off campus, I kind of knew where, like, okay, if I go towards the big buildings, I'll be fine. But if I go towards the suburbs, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out.
Yeah, man.
If I make it towards the
Yeah.
suburbs, I don't know if I'm gonna make. Because like I didn't like here. There's no gang warfare. There's no shootings around here. Like if you look at the crime statistics, there's like literally almost zero. Like I feel like we've had like in the past 20 years, we might have had like one known, known homicide here or something, right? But like in San Jose, I'm like, is that firecrackers or is that literal gunshots that do any? And then like, I got like over the years, I gotten like a decent amount of alerts, like, hey, there's a shooter on campus, and like
I got
no one,
those alerts a
but
lot.
like no, but like no one giving a fuck. It's just like, what? I don't understand. Like, I remember this one time though where like it was legit, like it was in the engineering building too, which is like the scariest thing for. I don't know if you were at San Jose State at this point. It was like one of my first 2 or 3 years there, where like legit there was a shooter, and I remember like to the point where I literally saw him being put in the cop car, and he like literally like shot 1 or 2 people and killed them, and I was like, what the fuck? San Jose State was also kind of like, you went there when MLK Library had the screens already, right?
The screens? What do you mean?
Like when you're going up to like up the floors, the desk, right? There's a big, the escalator. There's like a big like middle thing where like you can see all the way to the top. Like if you walk in the middle, like if you walk on the first floor and you look up, you can see all the way up to like 8th floor, right?
Yeah.
But there's already screens on those desks, right? You do know why that is? We're gonna get really serious here,
Oh
guys.
yeah, like the divider things.
Yeah,
right?
you know why that is, right?
What?
Because people kept jumping, man.
Oh shit!
Like in my first 2 years, I think 4 people jumped, and I was like, to the point where like I accidentally caught a video of something on. I'm not gonna explain it any more detail than I saw a video on Twitter, and I was like, I am very like, that's pretty messed. Like I've never like at Doherty, I don't think we've had that, or like in our area, we might have had. I don't know. I haven't experienced it. From people I know, I haven't like even heard about it. But like just seeing like actually like hearing and seeing that, having like the library closed because someone did that before they implemented those things, that was like the most like, oh shit, this shit's serious, man. Depression is serious, man. Like I can't even imagine. Like I couldn't even imagine it. I was like, I feel like I probably went through like depression, and I've had maybe some of those thoughts, but I was like, that like woke up me something in me like, oh my god, that's like this shit's real. Like there's people who I might have known who could have been close to doing that. I was like, that's just scary, man. But yeah, like
it is.
But like, let's go back on topic in terms. So we were talking about the East Bay. There's like a huge difference in that divide. I feel like the peninsula is like really different. Like I hadn't been to the peninsula until after I went to college. You know, through that's like the Santa Tana Road all the way up through right before you get to SF, right? So right before the mountain area. So like Palo Alto, San Bruno, and what I think in that area. It's like completely like, it's like if downtown Livermore and downtown Pleasanton, but like got actual buildings. Like, have you been to the Palo Alto area? I'm like, this is rich. Like, I thought Pleasanton and Livermore, this is rich. There's people like driving around in like cars I don't even know the names of, like rich.
I need to go down there now. Like, I heard they have Shake Shack in Palo Alto.
Yeah, they have Shake Shack.
I definitely need to go there.
Yeah,
definitely need to.
I've heard, like, I remember when it opened up. I still haven't been able to go, but I remember when it opened up, there was like lines upon lines because like it was the first Shake Shack in our area, I think, at least from like that area. I don't know if SF or LA might have gotten it, but like that was like the first one. I can't say for sure, but like at least in like outside of like the big city, SF and LA, like that might have been the first one. But like yeah, the whole Stanford, basically the Stanford area, the actual Silicon Valley area, like legit Silicon Valley, like the shit you see on the TV show thing,
right?
Like that's where like that you know you can literally be like, there's Google, there's Facebook, look, freaking like Mark Zuckerberg just drove past me type of area.
Yeah,
like that's that type of, it's literally that area. And then SF is, I don't even know, SF is its own thing. I feel like I know we went to when we went to prom, I don't know if you guys both went to prom at all during either junior or senior year, but like
yeah, I remember
when we got there and I looked around, I was like, this just feels, before we went into the thing and started partying and dancing or whatever, but I like, this feels different. Like we have like Black Hawk has a museum, but this is an actual museum. Like this is like legit. Yeah. Like I walking around there. I mean, I've been there for like, I did like some volunteering, like giving sandwiches to like homeless. But I was like, SF just feels completely different from anywhere else in the Bay. Like it's, I don't know. How do you guys like explain it?
It's like New York, kind of like a really big city, and it's like a melting pot. Literally, like so many different cultures all in one.
I would say like SF was where the artists would come to, like from all over like the country. Like that was like, it was really independent. It was a really cool independent scene like back then.
I mean, now, I feel like Silicon Valley. Are you talking about Silicon Valley now with that, or?
I'm just talking about like the tech boom and how like it's influenced like SF to like
gentrified, just gentrified. But I feel like it's still like, but I feel like the impact you're talking about with the artists, I feel like it was so like big that even with that gentrification, you can still feel like that original identity. It's like, it's not like at the forefront, like what people like, you still see, you'll now see the tech bros going around to their coffee shop and they're like, yeah, man, I'm working on this app stuff and whatnot. But like, you also kind of feel like, but then when you go to that same coffee shop, you also see like the artist in the background or the person who's like, obviously like, you know, flannel and the beard and the thing still. Like, you kind of feel that artist influenced. I feel like SF really is one of the only cities I feel like I was able to keep its like mostly like a lot of its identity pre like modern boom, but still it's still obviously influenced. Like you can see like, oh my god, there's like 20 more Patagonia. If I see another fucking Patagonia vest, I'm gonna cry. Like, but
don't you think SF is the one place in the Bay though where you'll see someone from like San Ramon, and then like 2 seconds later you'll see someone who like probably was raised in Oakland or someone who's raised in
no doubt, yeah. SF is still like the big, like when people are in the Bay and you finally get that freedom, what's the first place you're gonna go? I'm gonna go SF, like I want to go to the city.
Exactly.
Not like back in the day, like I want to go city to like get out of the house, because like nowadays you're like whatever, it's like one, it's too expensive, and two, like I don't like I can just hang out or whatever. But like I feel like that. Like I remember like everyone's like in high school like, hey, where do you want to go? Let's go to SF, man. Just take the BART, man. We're gonna walk around, try some food, get some random thrift clothes, and just hang out by like the pier. Like, cause SF is so big. There's so much stuff to like. I haven't seen like like that fountain area, or I still haven't gone there where people take like
What
prom
fountain
photos.
area?
Not fountain, but like there's like this huge like, you know what I'm talking about? Not fountain, not like a lake, not lake. I don't know what's called. Or like I know a lot of people take their like prom photos or wedding proposal pictures there.
Like a pond in a way,
Like a pond, yeah, it's like a pond, but like a big like a stone structure or something. I'm not remembering like what it's called. But like I haven't, as a person from the Bay, I haven't gone to that whole windy road thing. I've never seen that.
Really?
I still haven't
Dumbarton?
seen
Is
that.
it called Dumbarton?
Yeah, like I still haven't seen that. Like I've seen it in movies more than I've been, and I live like I could probably drive an hour and a half and be there, but I still haven't got there yet.
Dude, we gotta go there, man.
Yeah, man. Like,
come on, bro.
I mean, I've obviously seen the Golden Gate Bridge. I've like gone through arKUW. Like SF has so much stuff that I feel like not all of it is like vacation. Where I'm not saying I wouldn't be like, hey, yeah, if you're going to California, go to vacation. No, go to LA. That's the vacation part of the US. Go to LA, go to San Diego. Those are much better for like if you want to go vacation. That's where you go. But SF, if you're just like in the Bay and you just want to like find something new, SF is like, I know San Jose kind of has that feeling, but SF really is like there's like so much to explore, and you're like you'll never like stop seeing things. Like there's always something new, always a new shop, always a new place. And like Rom, you said like it had that art. It has that artist. I feel like it still has the artist influence even to this day, even though it's like obviously very tech world now, but like. Out of like all the big cities in the world, I think probably like because LA is a different breed. Like you can't say LA is a city. Like LA is LA. There's no other feeling. But like
LA is the place where like the whole world knows about. Like
yeah,
that's
it's like I mean literally like it has like what like I know what let's say I think California has 35 million. 10 million live in the LA area. Like a third of the people live in that general county and the Orange County and the surrounding stuff. Like that's a lot. That's a fuck ton of people just in there. I know New York is one. I feel like that's not. I just like it. Just is what it is. New York won't change, but I feel like that's because it was the first big city that modernized. So that is the identity, the modern city, right? Like I've been to New York, and I know SF and Oakland, downtown Oakland have big buildings. Holy shit! I literally like when I went there for, I think it was choir or it was either choir or for the musical group. When I went for the musical for senior year, we went there. I was like, when they say it's the city that never sleeps, my God, we watched a Broadway show. I came out. I looked at the time. It was 1 a.m. and I legit thought it was the middle of the day because that's how much light there was in New York. And I'm like, holy shit! Like there's much light pollution
too outside.
Like there's like it's literally like I'm Uber. If you work Uber Eats or DoorDash, you must be fucking making a lot of money in New York.
Yeah, dude.
But like I know, and then I think the only other city that's like distinguished itself is Miami because it's fucking crazy. But like every other city, like Chicago, like or like Houston, like I mean, there's differences. Like I think Portland has like it's known for being a pretty big hipster artist town city, but like a lot of the other cities don't really have like any big cities in the state don't really have that feeling of like different. At least my experience or my knowledge. I could be completely ignorant. Like if anyone from like Massachusetts is gonna be like, tell me Boston is freaking amazing. It probably is, but like I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. Okay, don't at me. But like I feel like you can tell like Silicon Valley has influenced the Bay Area a lot in the past 20 years alone, right? Like 20 years ago, like the artist feeling of SF was the whole Bay Area outside of like Napa, which has always been wine country, right? By the way, North Bay, we didn't even touch on that. I know just suburbs and wine. That's all I got. Suburbs and wine.
Same.
So like, but like that's obviously another part of the Bay that's like completely different. But I feel like, especially back in Oakland and Hayward, that whole area was definitely more artist centric. back in the day because they had whatever underground like painters, and obviously the rap back, especially in the 90s. That whole hip hop scene was huge. I mean, it's still huge, but like nowadays it's more like you rep that you're from there. Back then you are an Oakland, like you're an artist. You're an Oakland artist. You're not an artist from Oakland, right? Like, because I remember like, Josh, if you don't know anything, because I'm relating back to like when NBA, I feel like a lot back like in the day, like if we had like an NBA player from the Bay Area or from Oakland, it's like Gary Payton and Jason Kidd are from Oakland. Never forget that, guys.
I remember that.
Like they always keep saying
man.
stuff for that. Like they always say like, oh man, yeah. I mean, obviously LeBron from Cleveland. Nowadays is like, if I hear a rookie's name, and I'm like, or a young player's name, I'm like, I don't know where the fuck Jason Tatum is from. Like I don't know where he's from.
True. That is true.
I don't know where.
That is true,
I don't know where all these new players are from. I feel like that kind of like with the modern age, more people are like, especially because I feel like a lot of these players are in the AAU circuit, so they're moving high schools all the time, which is weird to me. Like I can't imagine moving high schools all the time.
New people, like, they train so much more than kids like 20 years back. Like the facilities and all these things that the kids have now, like LaMelo Ball, bro, and like stuff like that, like they have all the facilities to be really freaking
and
good.
that's just at the amateur level. That's not, you don't even NBA. I mean, look, like I can tell you, if you went to ask Udonis Haslem, who's been on the Miami Heat since the beginning of fucking time, still getting signed new contracts and not even playing a game. Like if you went up to him and was like, hey, how much has technology changed? He'd probably like, I can fucking document from like beginning of like when I came in, like the way LeBron preps his body, like it probably is overboard and probably doesn't. He probably could spend like half or less than half and get the same result because he's fucking superhuman. But like the technology, these guys, like, I mean, the tech boom, right? Everything's about numbers or stats or whatever, like advantage. Because like we're all at the point where I feel like, especially in the athletic world, everyone's at this like baseline of like where they are. Most like the difference between like the most athletic player and the 50th most athletic player in the league is not as big as it was like even 20, 30 years ago, right? So now everyone's like, okay, we're all around the same athleticism level. How can I get better from here? And then now they're all doing, like you said, all these AAUs for better or for worse. Because I feel like there's a lot of the skills of players have gotten a lot better. I know, Rom, we're kind of kicking out the conversation a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
No, but like in terms of like NBA players, I feel like I'm seeing like they're all way more skilled. But like, I mean, I'm a Warriors fan, so I'm biased. Shout out Warriors. But like, I'm watching all these teams. Like I watched the boys play the Pelicans the other night. All these young players. I'm like, my dad was like, "Damn, that random nobody hit a step back three. That's pretty good." And like, yeah, it is pretty good. Like I can't see even 10 years ago like a young player probably get kicked out even in garbage time if he shot that shot, right?
Yeah,
but then I'm like,
the game changed.
But then I'm like, man, these. I don't see passing because I'm watching the Warriors, so like even their bench unit is passing, running sets and whatnot. But I'm like watching the Pelicans, they're just out for it themselves. They're just like, yeah, I can do a step back three. Look at me, coach. Let me give him a new contract. And I'm like, that's cool. Pelicans have been in the bottom of the league forever, so I don't really give a fuck. You can hit a step back three if you can't win.
Yeah, man. Like everyone's able to shoot though now, even big men.
Yeah.
The whole game's evolving and it's just changing because of technology and all that stuff.
I feel like going back to what Rom said with the tech boom earlier is like that's where the modern age like is the past 10, 15, 20 years. Because we're on the older end, but I think we all are technically Gen Z. I feel like but since we're on the older end, we've been able to actually experience the transition pretty well. Like we maybe not went on AOL Instant Messenger a lot, but we knew all our cousins or all our older friends, family friends, or new people who were on that like all the time. We were watching I think we were all watching VHS tapes, but like I can't even imagine like watching a VHS tape and then all of a sudden now I'm watching. Like if you told me 20 years ago, like, hey, kid, I know you're just switching to DVD now, and there's this new thing called Blu-ray, but imagine watching anything you wanted of your favorite show whenever you could. and you pay like a tenth of the price of your cable.
Like...
And you pay a tenth or like 100th to a tenth the price of cable. One, I wouldn't understand how much cable costs because I'm like, I'm a 4-year-old. I don't know what money is. You asking me about like how to pay bills and tax. Like, first of all, but then I'm like thinking about it. Like, we watched the rise of like social media, like not the rise, but like the boom. Like, I feel like we saw the boom of social media.
I think we did see the rise of it. Honestly,
I feel like millennials were like really like the generation right before us, because we're technically Gen Z or whatever, or right in between. They did see like the whole, like they saw it coming. They like, oh, we're on AOL and we're on MySpace and Facebook.
MySpace, yeah, true.
They saw those guys. They saw all that. Like, oh, and they were obviously the first people to upload on YouTube. But as consumers, like, they were the first people to upload, but we were the first people to like use YouTube and figure out like, oh, this is a nice, cool cat video. Oh, I got Rick rolled to like. Can you imagine like, because YouTube's like what 2005, so that's like a little over 15 years. Can you imagine like how much of that has changed? Like, went from like YouTube being like one of like a few. I feel like I might say something. You guys remember Daily Motion? Did that ring any bells in your? No?
Yeah.
Like there's some YouTube was like, it was the biggest, but it was like there's a few like platforms like that back in the day. But then like yeah, but then like all of a sudden like Twitch came out like past 10 years. That's huge now. And like Netflix was like came in and was like, hey, we also do the thing Blockbuster does with DVDs, but then they were like, what if we put the videos online of the movies like YouTube does, but like movies? And like I remember like seeing that, I was like, I'm still gonna get my Blockbuster DVD. Like that legit killed Blockbuster. We saw the death of Blockbuster, man.
I miss Blockbuster though.
Like, yeah,
like, it's
like,
just...
I'm not gonna lie, I miss it, but like I get why it died. Like, because like there's no use for it nowadays. But it was like, we remember the feeling of going there and renting like a video game or a movie that we saw, or like ooh, that like, but not knowing what it was. Like, oh, this thing has like swords and ninjas and stuff. Oh, what is this? And you're like, Dad, can I get this? They're like, sure, whatever. Just make sure you give it back to me in like a few days. And then like you have to like,
game rentals were awesome. Like, yeah. Why can't we have game rentals now?
Money.
Like Redbox now.
Yeah, I get Redbox, but like
streaming services too, like Xbox. There's a subscription service for Xbox and stuff.
True, but like I think Josh is like kind of right in terms of like there's not that feeling. We remember that feeling, but like we're able to transition to like the new age of like how YouTube is now, TikTok and Twitch, all the streaming platforms. I can't even imagine what like the younger Gen Z to like the new whatever, I think it's Alpha or whatever, like my girlfriend's like youngest siblings, like they're like, I think the oldest is like around 10 right now. I can't imagine like already having social media and YouTube and TikTok. I remember like I had to like earn it. I had to get old enough. I had to be like, can I finally get a smartphone this year? Like, I know that feeling. They grew up with an iPad, man. Like, they don't know the struggle, right?
4-year-olds with Instagram accounts already.
But then I can't. Well, we hear them talk about it, but I can't imagine like the older-ish millennials who are like now in their 30s, who like were the first people to use them for money, like Smosh, like they made videos on YouTube for, found a way to make money. All those guys who like made it for us, like I can't imagine how they feel looking back, like because they didn't like feel that transition. They just all of a sudden like, hey, I don't have a job. Yeah, I'll make a vlog or whatever. What's a video blog? Yeah, I can do that. And now they're like, that's the BuzzFeed. Like they're the ones who made BuzzFeed and old YouTube. I feel like we're in that middle where like we felt like we transitioned without it feeling unnatural. But I can't imagine like our parents or our grandparents. Like I can't imagine like all the technology they've seen. I can't like. I'm scared of like when at what point am I not going to understand technology? Because like we all say like, oh, we're more technology savvy, we're into it more, we're at the internet, we get to learn more, and maybe we won't feel it as bad as our parents or grandparents. But like, at what point am I like, I get a device and I don't know how to use it? I'm scared of that day.
Bro, when we're adults.
Wait, what? Yash, you there? Oh shit! You froze. What y'all froze? I got like hella scared. Like, oh my god, my computer crashed. What did you say?
Dude, you were frozen on us. But yeah, I was saying like when we're old, like people are about to be going to Mars casually for
Dude,
like vacation.
Legit, like I've seen like the clips of like I think it's SpaceX, like the SpaceX employees. Like I saw the video. I know it was probably a while back, but I saw a video of it recently where they were able to get, for the past 50, 60 years, when you shoot a rocket into space and it comes down, that is the end of the rocket. You cannot shoot it back into space, right? Like, there's no like, you can't be like Star Wars. You're like, oh, let's fly the ship here and then land here and then go. But like the SpaceX video of like the people who tested the rockets, like went up into space and then they like legit landed, like, and then landed safely, and the people cheering. I'm like, bro, like that's insane, bro. Like, can you imagine like the people who, like, I don't know if Neil Armstrong is alive, but if he is, and if you saw that video, that's insane. He was on the moon. He fucking went to the moon, stepped on the moon, and in his lifetime, now he's at a point where like they're prototyping real rockets that don't have to land in the ocean and they get picked up. or don't land on like what half their piece is gone on the ground. Like they're legit just like, yep, go up in space and come back. We can go again when we refill.
Would you go to Mars?
Well, I don't even know, because like, am I gonna be alive? Like, because like, how fat? Like,
if you were alive, if you're like 50.
Because I mean, I know right now, technically, if we were to go to Mars, like, I would like get it to the point where like there might be a whole new generation on the flight by the time I get there at earliest, right? But like, I don't know. Oh shit! Hello. Frozen again?
Yeah,
Hello?
Breaking up.
My god. Alright, I can't even tell if it's my internet or anything, because like I'm not seeing any like drops in like internet connection on my end, so I can't even tell. Well, obviously it's not bad enough where I get like lost here. You guys hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, no, you're chilling now.
No, I mean, if I could go to Mars and I could be reassured you will be alive and be able to actually be there, hell yeah. Or maybe not hell yeah, but like I'd consider it. Like I'd definitely highly consider it. I wonder if
there's life there in Mars. Any kind of life.
I don't know if there's life on Mars, but there is no way there's not life in the universe. Like there's like with every like literally like when you say how big is the universe and you say it's infinity and growing, like there's no way there's not at least one planet out there with life. It might not even look like us, it might not talk like us, but it's like somewhat same, like it's evolved enough where you can call it life. Like it's a dog out there and just roaming around on a planet. You can't tell me that there's not a planet, at least one planet, that has a fucking animal that looks like a dog.
Yeah,
just running around.
I agree.
Like it might be drinking lava instead of water, but like it's alive. Okay, there's no doubt.
And before I die, I just want to see an alien. That's all I ask for. Like a picture, anything. I just want to see one.
Okay, sorry, Roman. What were you gonna say?
I was just yeah, I would also want to see like an alien life form. Like before I die, it'd be cool. Just to see proof that the Pentagon announcement didn't really do it for me. They just don't know.
Like, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like with the Pentagon, we're like they're legit like, oh yeah, UFO during the pandemic, right? So midway through this pandemic that we were in, the Pentagon or the government literally released photos that were like, by the way, yeah, UFOs are real. Bye. And everyone was like, and like no one cared about it because we were all thinking about COVID. Because that's first of all, that's ingenious.
Was that
right?
a tactic from them, bro? Was that a tactic?
It might have been, or it could have been like, I know like government has like 50 years to keep things secret before they can release it sometimes, unless it's like JFK and they'll just keep delaying it. Like, oh no, we'll listen in 10 years from now. Even though it's like really, like,
dude, bro, the government killed JFK. That means why do they keep delaying it?
It's
bro?
either they kill JFK or whatever happened in it is even worse than what a government corruption could be. It's like it's either government corruption or something that's even worse, right? There's no other reason they won't like release every detail. I'm not saying like Oswald didn't kill JFK or that like or the mafia was not involved or something. I'm just like, or like I'm not even saying like most of the people in government knew. Like it only has to be like 2 people. It only got to be like one politician with like a decent amount of money got pissed off. That's all it has to be for it to be a government thing, right?
I could see that being a reason.
Like it's not like it doesn't have to be like half of Congress conspired with the FBI and the CIA. It could have been like one guy got pissed off and just went to Oswald and was like, "Hey, would you like shoot him real quick?" He said my idea during a meeting was shit. But like no one knows, like, cause like I mean people know who. I feel like people at this point know who killed him. I don't know about all the conspiracies, like, oh, there's multiple shooters or the magic book. Like, I don't even know. I don't even give a fuck at this point about that. I'm just more like,
I just want to know what the government's hiding.
What is to hide? Like, what is there to hide that's like you guys can't like release it right away?
Maybe they think people will really get pissed and like start outrage.
Imagine if it's like legit, like the most simplest things. Like Oswald just hated JFK. they're like they just want people to think there's a conspiracy. He's like, no, he was just pissed off. He just didn't like JFK, man.
You're just trolling us, bro.
Like, that'd be the ultimate thing. I mean, that might actually induce more rage than one. There might be more conspiracies on top of that, even if they release that. And 2, it's like, oh, well, there'll always be like this subsection of people always going to be thinking that we don't give a fuck. But yeah, I think like they were like, because technically UFO does not mean alien spaceship. It just means we didn't know what was in the sky. Could have been Russia testing out a new thing. Could have been like Bulgaria's like random military weapon that went and exploded in the sky. Who knows? But here's a few photos and videos. Have fun. And then dipped.
Didn't they say like the aircraft, like it just went from one place like straight to another, like in a ridiculously fast way that's like not humanly possible or something?
I'll say this with governments. I feel like most governments have more technology that we just get like 10 years later. Like you should, they should,
yeah,
like they should,
definitely.
Like I would not be surprised if they had like desktop computers already by the time when we were just like getting like the huge, like they had like small, like at least like a shitty smartphone before like we even got like an iPod.
Yeah,
like at a minimum that's what that's what they should be doing, or that's what they like.
I agree.
Like we don't know what they had. Like people are like, oh, we don't, like I'm not saying like. I can't. By the way, if you've seen all the president photos where like if they have at least an 8-year term, they look completely different. I feel like Trump just kind of had his look for like the past 20 years, so like he didn't really change much. Obama, you could definitely tell he got older. Like he got gray hair, he wrinkled up. George W. Bush looked hella different. And I'm like thinking about it, like I don't care like how politically corrupt any of these guys are. I'm just thinking like, holy shit, if I fuck up on one speech, I might cause World War III. I can't imagine the pressure, man.
Yeah, dude, all the stress, like...
I feel like that's one area where Trump kind of like didn't give his attitude. Like, I don't like the guy. I don't care about his policies. But like, maybe that's why he didn't look too much different, because he didn't give a fuck. He just said shit. And like, he got away with it. But I was like, oh my God, he's making fun of North Korea. Oh, we're going to die. I'm like, like I can't imagine the pressure a bunch of like I know like most of them, most politicians probably not good people, but it's probably, and they're not interest not in our heart, but like when it comes to like those international relations and like what they know and what we don't know, that's just scares me. Like the amount of like they're always saying like every country is trying to hack every other country, and they just say Like, oh no, we didn't. Whatever. We weren't trying to get into your data systems in China. No, we weren't. But like, I can't imagine being like those like things where like you fuck up one button and you like explode half the West Coast. Like, nah, fuck that. Fuck
Too
that
much,
job.
way too much
Fuck
pressure,
that
dude.
job.
I'm cool being a normal
deal with freaking
civilian.
Well, until I get to it, but like, I would rather deal with like Mark Zuckerberg yelling at me because I fucked up on the bug on Facebook, man. Fuck that.
I'd rather do some leak code, dude. Yeah.
Do some leak code. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how we got here. we were like, I don't even know what topic we started after job. I know we're talking about the culture of the Bay and whatnot. I don't even know how we got to like how how stressful it must be to be president.
Millions, man.
Like, boom. Have you like? I don't even know. Like, did you guys get into stocks ish? I know people are like, it's kind of like, oh, it's a red flag to buy stocks and whatever, or like, oh, you're one of the. Wait, what?
I think it's more of a red flag to buy crypto than stocks.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of like got Bitcoin, but it's through Robinhood, so I didn't really get Bitcoin. I got the stock of Bitcoin basically, so I'm like, I'm making money, but like, it's like one Robinhood, you know, kind of shitty company, but like whatever. I'm too lazy to change now, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people got stuck. I'm just like getting to the point where like, hey guys, like I get it, stocks, ETFs technically are like really good for your long term like growth and wealth because like it's like passive. I feel like a lot of people are like learned the term passive income the last year and a half. But like what you said, like when people are like, I've met because I'm in computer, like Yash, we're in computer engineering. Have you met those guys who like won't shut up about crypto?
Yeah, dude, they're filled with them, man. Our field's filled with them.
I know people who like aren't engineers and like they just won't shut up about they won't shut up about crypto.
Yeah, it's like
that's true. There's
buying XRP.
It's just kind of like a weird like I mean, it's like most coins are bad for. I know NFTs went to shit. I think they made it illegal to sell NFTs now, or something happened like in the past 2 days.
It's still kind of booming though. There's a whole community, like around
it's the same
NFTs.
as crypto. Like, to be fair, as much as like I don't really like the people who got crypto or not. Fucking 2015, I should have bought some fucking Bitcoin. You know,
honestly saying
$10 worth of Bitcoin. Like, you know how rich not rich, but you know how much money. That's like $1 million. Like, was it like? I don't even know how many like $100,000 profit I could have made. Will I have been taxed on it? Sure, but because after the year, like the long-term tax would have been gone. Short-term tax would have been gone. I'm gonna be paying like 10%. Thanks, internet, for telling me that in the past year and a half. If you get stocks or crypto or anything, keep it for at least a year if you don't want to get heavily taxed. Which is why I feel like a lot of people like are scared of the stock market and stuff. Which like in this show, like I think it's more that like Wolf of Wall Street and stuff. People are like, oh, I might get scammed. They're like, I'm like, just don't buy every new company stock. Like if you just like get like a few stocks in a ETF, you'll be chilling. It's like obviously when you get your 401k or your what's the other one called? Roth IRA. There we go. All right, like and those retirement funds. Obviously, you better be learning which freaking stocks to put in, so like you can like when you retire, you get that money or whatnot. But it's like I don't know. I think like you said, it's like kind of red flag where people are like, oh man, look at this new. I know Shiba coin or something just exploded for no reason. I was
actually thinking Fuck. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Dude, anything about getting some Shiba?
Oh shit! I don't know. It's already boomed now. I don't think there's gonna be another boom of Shiba.
The thing is, like, it'll go down. I think it would like end up going down. So like buying it now would.
Remember the whole GameStop thing with the squeeze thing that happened like earlier this year, where everyone like bought GameStop stock to try the fuck over some billionaire who betted against it or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? And then that's where the whole Robin Hood controversy comes in. It was just like, what the what the fuck? Like, that's how I knew people were getting into stocks now, like, or at least thinking about it, because like this happened like before the pandemic. No one would give a fuck about it, and now they're still, to this day, GameStop and AMC stocks are still like going randomly up and down, like to this day, like because there's still good enough people still like to the moon. So, that was like that whole. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Yash, hey, since we're talking about like red flags, what are some red flags you think about? We're going full out. We're going through every topic. We're just going we're on relationship advice now. Oh shit, or friendship advice. What are red flags?